on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Hallelujah. Yahweh, we told you for another 7-day Shabbat, waking us up to see another beautiful day. We told you for waking us up with a proper state of mind. We told you for the functioning of our limbs. We told you for your Ruach HaKodesh. Yahweh, continually be with us. Your presence be with us every step of the way, in your temple, in our homes, at our jobs, everywhere we are in this earth. Continue to be with us. Have your Ruach HaKodesh dwell within us so we don't be lost in this way. We don't get lost in these last days, but we know that you are near and you are always with us to see us through these days. And Yahweh, continue to shed your light upon your people and show your people there is light at the end of the tunnel. Even though days may seem like they're getting darker and darker, please, Yahweh, show your people that there are better days that are coming. Yahweh, show your people that this way is well worth striving for in order to see those better days. Yeah. And be relieved from the things that we're going through this very hour. Body aches, sicknesses, loss of loved ones. Yahweh, show us all that you have a place for us, waiting for us, so we may be able to dwell in shalom forever and ever and not worry about death anymore, not worry about sicknesses anymore, but to be with you and your son and all that strive to get this way right. Yahweh, continue to be with the children, the babies, those yet to be born. Fill them with your Ruach HaKodesh. Fill them with everything that they need in order to go through these last days, in order to go through whatever is coming down on the face of this earth, and show them that there's nothing to worry about, nothing to fear about, because they have you on their side. And Yahweh, continually be over us all and strengthen us through this way, and have it so that Shaitan don't overtake us and bring us down, but have all trials, tribulations that come our way, that you bring us through, have it that those things strengthen us in the way that we continue to walk this way of life and continually endure to the very end, so we may be able to see your face in peace and hear your words say, well done, my tough and faithful servants. Yahweh, continue to teach us, prepare us along the way. Have your word continually be within us so we know how to walk in this way of life and never fall in the day of adversity. And Yahweh, we just told you for all the hava, all the mercy that you have showed upon us. And Yahweh, the least that we can do is to be obedient unto you and have it so that to the end of our days, we are obedient and doing your will, so we may be able to walk into your great, wonderful kingdom. And Yahweh, those that are on our trail, those that want to seek to take us down, Yahweh, take them down and show them that you have all power, and show them that righteousness will rise up in this earth and wickedness will die and go to the ground and never rise up again. In Yahshua HaMashiach's name we pray. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. House of Israel, you may be seated. Shabbat Shalom once again, House of Israel. And I say Shabbat Shalom, all you're tuning in on the live stream. Today I want to read from the book of Tehillim. This is Psalms 49. Psalms 49 says, hear this, all people. Give ear, all inhabitants of the world, both low and high, rich and poor together. My mouth shall speak wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall give understanding. I will incline my ear to a proverb. I will disclose my dark sayings on the harp. Why should I fear in days of evil, when the iniquity at my heels surround me? Those who trust in their wealth and boast in the multitudes of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to Yahweh a ransom for him. For the redemption of their souls is costly, and it shall cease forever, that he should continue to live eternally and not see the pit. For he sees wise men die. Likewise, the fool and the senseless person perish and leave their wealth to others. Their inner thought is that their houses will last forever, their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Nevertheless, man, though in honor, does not remain. He is like the beasts that perish. This is the way of those who are foolish, and of the posterity who approve their sayings. Like sheep, they are led in the grave. Death shall feed on them. The upright shall have dominion over them in the morning, and their beauty shall be consumed in the grave, far from their dwelling. But Yahweh will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, for he shall receive me. Do not be afraid when one becomes rich, when the glory of his house is increased. For when he dies, he shall carry nothing away. His glory shall not descend after him. Though while he lives, he beroots himself, for men will praise you when you do well for yourself. He shall go to the generations of his fathers. They shall never see light. A man who is in honor yet does not understand is like the beasts that perish. Hallelujah. So the wicked, the rich, all people that are above us that think they got it made, guess what? They have a day coming where all the things that they trusted in are going to go far away from them. And they're going to see that all the power that they thought they had truly ain't had no power at all. Because the one that we serve has what? He has all power. So that's why we serve a great I am. We serve the great Elohim, Yahweh and his son, Yahshua HaMashiach. And we take delight doing it, right, Yisrael? So Yisrael, continue to strive, continue to please Yahweh, and we're going to make it. At this time, I'd like to turn the service over to Zarkane Dawi Yakan Sr. We want to receive him by giving Yahweh the highest form of praise by saying, Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Shabbat Shalom, Yisrael. Truly, we do give Almighty Yahweh all the honor and praise that is due unto that everlasting name. We do truly thank Almighty Yah. As Minister just said, I like the way he phrased that. He said, the one that we serve has all power. So I told Yah for that. That is the utmost truth. We're here in this particular part of the world, especially in the last days. If we watch real close, you'll see more and more as the spirit of Shaitan rises up against the children of Yisrael. Now listen, as I say it, he's starting to try to work it now. All right, let's do this another way. All right, how's that? Can y'all hear me? All right, there we go. We do thank Almighty Yahweh, even in these last days. One of the things I'm gonna say straight out the gate to the people of Yahweh and to the children of Israel, told my precious Ak, is that the children of Israel, we are really going to have to strengthen up in Yahweh. And what I mean by strengthen up is that, as they say, all good things come to an end. There's one good thing that's going to never come to an end, and that's the kingdom of Almighty Yahweh as he sets it up and allows his son to take back this earth as its rightful owner. But things that do come to an end tend to come to an end at the most inappropriate time for all parties that are involved except the soon-to-be victors. And in a situation and or instance like that, all preparations are done to make certain that the soon-to-be victors actually never get the victory. So the people of Yahweh are going to have to really strengthen up and wisen up in the way in which Shaitan truly works. Some things in life, there are times where you may have to actually step back. You may actually have to stand down. You may have to simply be quiet in order to get an even greater grip on the reality of what we're dealing with in the earth. One thing I do get to notice among the children of Yisrael on a global scale is that a lot of times we're talking, but we really don't understand the fundamentals of what it is that we are up against. It's sort of like having a job at a prestigious company, but you work there, you function freely and daily, but you really don't understand the impact or the reach that this particular company may have around the world. Therefore, this is the same thing with the children of Yisrael. When Yahshua said to Peter that you know not what manner of spirit you are of, that's a serious statement. When a lot of times a major portion of the hindrance or the impediment that the children of Yisrael are going to face is going to come from within our own ranks, that's almost saddening and depressing to a point and a degree where you start realizing that just like the word says, a lot of us are just not going to be right, especially in the latter days. And I'm going to tell you something about the difference between not being right and striving to be right. The not rights are so self-righteous, they think they're right. Hear what I say. Because as a result, there's so much discord among brethren in thinking that they're teaching the proper way. And as a result of the way in which they're carrying themselves, there's a pattern for everything that Yahweh established in the word. There's a pattern if we just look close enough. And that's not to disrespect us as a people, but we're not that analytical in the word and that profound or astute where we all just go out and study this thing by ourselves and draw these conclusions. That's why Yahweh created an order of the priesthood. That's why he established shepherds and shepherd families. And that's why he established Israel in their culture, their heritage, and their tribes. A lot of times we're just so caught up now in the pride of being Yisrael that we don't even smell the stench of it. And that's sad. I mentioned something last week. I didn't know I was going to go this route. Hallelujah. Thank Yahweh for it. I mentioned something last week about a Christian preacher and how people had called the police on him for preaching against gay and lesbianism. I told her, y'all, for Brother Ron. Brother Ron found that video clip and he shared it on his page. And when I looked up and saw he had shared that, I said, praise y'all, good. Somebody else saw it. But then came round two. I was looking at these comments from some of us as Hebrews. And dear brother, you can take this any kind of way you want to take this. But I read your response to it. And the stench of your own self-imposed righteousness, it sickened me. And it took all that was within me to stand down and not straight up and down, come on that post and stomp your face in the ground. The way you went at that poor little Christian preacher, and I ain't making no sympathetic pleas to Christianity, but I'm going to plead to you, dear brother, as so-called Yisrael. I'm going to say this to you. You've been in it now for a few years, you say. But back up and try to remember yourself. Just 1 year before you came to this way of life. Just back up and look at yourself. just 1 year before you came. Because what you failed to take into account, that just as you didn't always know Yahweh and had to be awakened, suppose that man preaching is Yahweh's, and he just ain't been awakened yet. See, we jam them for preaching. Some of them poor little fellas out there doing the best they can. And then you jam them and try to hold their feet to the fire, to the letter of the law of Yahweh, when they don't know that much just yet. And that's what Yahshua was warning Yisrael about. And I'm going to get to that, where he said the way the kingdom is going to be set up. We read carefully. This is a physical thing. In this earth, it's going to be so beautiful and simultaneously so sad. Because when you really start cleaning things up and you really start changing and start throwing stuff away, you ever had to clean your house and you really start looking up and start realizing there's stuff there that you really just don't need, but yet you had it all along. You really thought you needed it, though you ain't touched it in years. Now you cleaning up and the house looking good. But then you realize, now I got to throw this stuff away. But suddenly you start getting sad because you really don't want to part with it, though you really don't need it. See, Yahshua said they're going to come from the east and from the west in the kingdom, and they're going to sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Then he turned right around and said, but the children of the kingdom shall be thrust away. Some of us that knew or thought we knew, that were so self-righteous that thinking because we are the bloodline, the lineage, and the culture of Abraham, but lack the faith and the sincerity and righteousness of it, will be heard, as it said unto us, weeping and gnashing, because he commands us to depart. I never knew you. And that's what Yisrael got to learn, man. Brother, I read your comment. You're a little older than me, but I ain't afraid of you. I know how to talk to the people. But I looked at that comment and I said to myself, that's it. I posted things on social media because I got to watch the way I say it, because I realized I got a name where they mark and tag everything I say. I tried to put something up earlier. They told me earlier in the week, couldn't put this up. Some reason or another, couldn't put it up. If you delete the post, you lose it. So I remembered what I said. That's okay, but let me just delete it. 5 minutes later, I turned around, worded it another way, and put it back up anyway. But I remember this same brother. I post certain things in a certain way because I'm talking to people that don't know Yahweh. So they don't understand the depth of what some of us might understand. And I watched you, brother, repeatedly come on my post and take the things I say and rip it apart, masticate it, spin it around, and post your comment as if you're teaching me what I just said, like I didn't understand what I posted. Well, in reading that comment, I made up my mind. I said, damn it, you better not ever do that to me again. Because I realize now, that's the era of time we live in. Let me tell y'all something about elders in Yisrael. You got to check the pattern, because they were men of renown. What I mean by men of renown, they were always available. They were always out there in Yahweh's presence, in Yahweh's community, doing specific works, not waiting till they retired to go do the work. You hear what I say? I know a lot of preachers, and I'm not slurring and slandering, I'm just telling the truth. I know a lot of preachers in Yisrael now who did not go preach until they retired. Now they out, got a lot to say, they got a lot of talking. But when I really looked at it and prayed for understanding, I realized, oh, now, this is the equivalent of saying, Master, let me go bury my mother or my brother. Then I'll come and do this for you. He said, no, let the dead bury the dead. And see, I learn every day because I got to get out and work. I got to go do the same things that you go through, you and you and you. I got to get out, and I watch the spiritual conditions of people that I'm working around, because sometimes they're not Yisrael. I mean, they are Yisrael, and they are not yet awakened to who they are. So then the spiritual conditions of how we need help are prevalent. It hovers right above us, right in our lives, and you get to see this. But now, if you've worked all your life, you've done everything for the Lord, for God, for Jesus, for Buddha, for whatever. But now you come to Yahweh after all your foolishness, and you so self-righteous now that you can't be touched, even by Yahshua. You're a stench in his nostrils and need a good rebuke. Because that's why Yisrael suffer, because the men have no understanding. Let's go to Matthew chapter 8. Let's delve right into this. Today I want to talk to you about how Yisrael is unfazed by Yahshua's power to heal and command. That's why a lot of times you see many of us, we always maintain the same dumbfounded look on our face, this look of indifference. I don't care what's going on. I don't care who has the most tremendous testimony in Yahshua. I don't care who has the most severe trial and tribulation. You always got some in Yisrael where we have a look of disdain, a look of indifference, where whatever you go, whatever, it is what it is. And we start to catch on and discern. You say, we have some spiritual thing. I'm going to show you what Yahweh let happen to Yisrael, and it has not stopped. But we don't pay attention, because when we come to this way of life, man, we get so holy, sometimes can't nobody talk to you, because their words can't penetrate your force field of holiness. Matthew 8. When he was come down from the mountain, great multitudes followed him. This is what a lot of these brothers looking for today. They want great multitudes following them. Sometimes, truth be told, it's a severe headache with 2 or 3 following you. I'm straight up truth. It's a headache, man. I took a mental health day. One day last week, just flipped out. Woke up and got like, I ain't going nowhere. Pulled cover back over my head. Didn't call, didn't show, didn't do nothing. Didn't ask nobody phone call, just did it. Because the day before, I watched the spirit of the men. I watched all the men I work around like little boys, 40, 50 years old, popping off, acting like that. And I was thinking to myself, I said, when we have Yahweh in our lives, I don't care what the trials and tribulations are, when Yahweh is in our lives, it causes us to calm down and it makes us think differently. So that as we go through a trial or tribulation, let's pick a severe trial. Anything come to your mind. But yet, you might need a couple hours to actually deal with it, to go through it, to get through it. But we flipping out. I need a drink. I need a smoke. I can't deal with it. I got to do anything immature to get it off my mind. Now you really can't solve it. So that which would have taken you 2 or 3 hours in your life, and though it was a trial or a travail, now, like a spirit, it sticks around to haunt you, and it don't let up. You understand? So I watched, and I've never raised my voice, yelled, screamed, or anything. And I watched the men, just a literal spirit of stupor just hit the whole job site. And it wasn't until I went off and raised my voice at everybody, till all of a sudden everybody fell in line and wanted to do all the work. By then I was so drained. It was a real deep spiritual condition. I went and sat in the truck, and I wasn't even in the truck 5 minutes. Guess what happened? I fell asleep. Fell asleep. And I realized, I said, you see, that had to be what Yahshua was dealing with when he kept getting on the children of Israel about different things, and even the apostles wasn't catching it, and he rebuked them, said, are you yet without understanding? See, we all think Yahshua is this sweet little man that always walked around, had good things to say about everybody. Shalom, my beautiful sinner you. How are you today in sin land? And that's the way we try to play it. But then we'll live in sin land ourselves and skip through the world as if we're on flowered beds of ease and tell ourselves, I am holier than anyone that I've ever seen with the Bible. I have it made. I am the most beautiful one. When he comes back, I bet $1 he's coming to get me before any of you. That's the mindset that we possess. And it comes out in our little posts, in our little commentary. It comes out, man, oh man, oh man. Somebody requested a while back that we create a chat room where the children of Israel could get together and kind of chat and talk to each other, uplift each other throughout the course of the week. But y'all would never let me do that. Nope. Nope. Trouble, trouble, trouble. Nope. I see us on social media. I watch how we build networks and friendships, and we'll befriend the person because we think we know this person. So we look at all the people on their friends list, and we'll interact with that person a lot, but then we'll befriend these people, trying to draw all of them to us and make more friends and broaden it. Y'all would never let me to try to know all the Hebrews. I say that all the time. People say, you know, brother so-and-so. I don't know. I don't know if I know him or not. A lot of times people know you and you don't know them. And I try to preach in the realness of what y'all would give me. Damn that fake accent, fake wisdom, the fake expensive nature of my clothes, my shoes. I shop everywhere where y'all shop. I eat whatever y'all eat. We all do the same thing. All that, I got to be highfalutin. No, you have to be so humble to really be down to this earth that Yahweh might lift us up. And we're making too many tactical errors and too many fatalistic mistakes, so that as Yisrael, we open ourselves up to Shaitan's entry points so that he can come in and take our vessel and make us masquerade as the children of Yisrael. And yet we be living and be so dead wrong that we won't hear nobody. And a lot of times people like that, it is better to get them away from you. You understand? I've learned over the years, I've seen a lot of this stuff. I talked with a brother early in the week, Hebrew. He was yapping, gone. And then he said, what about you? Soon as I went to say, I shut him down. I said, you know, back in 1975, let me tell you, before I could even finish to say 75. So I said, okay, I'm sorry. I realized 1975 is funny to you because you weren't born till the late 80s. So it's difficult for you to imagine that somebody had parents that knew Yahweh, that raised them in this way of life, which was my initial point. Back then, we didn't meet people like you that just come to it and have so much knowledge that those that are older than you, been in it all their lifetime too, you don't recognize nothing they say, do, or know because you already got it figured out. He says, well, come to think of it, what was your point about 1975? I said, oh, you know what? Don't worry about that. That was before your time. And I wouldn't tell him. My point was this. Before it became fashionable to get the baseball, I'm not knocking any of us that do. Before it was fashionable to get the baseball hats with the name Yahweh across the front and pose for our Facebook, what you call that? Profile pic. Before it was fashionable to wear the tassels just to be seen of men. Before it was cool to come out and all that, there were people obeying Yahweh. Before the civil rights movement, there was somebody somewhere obeying Yahweh. Before the first industrial revolution, there was somebody somewhere obeying Yahweh. But see, as Yisrael, we get to thinking it's all about us. But when Yahshua showed us certain things that was all about he and Abba Yahweh, we were so unfazed by that because we carried like it's all about us and ain't delivered nothing. See what I'm saying? See, I ain't got time to beef with nobody to think they beef with me over tassels on clothes. Put the tassels on your clothes. Wham! Stick them on your damn nose. Wham! It make no difference to me. Wham! You just want somebody to see that you got some talent. Wham! Yahshua got on Yisrael about the tassels. How they had them so long because they wanted to be seen. Damn, arguing with you over some tassels. I see some sin you got going on. You think nobody can't recognize it. How could I smell it before I ever met you, and yet I wasn't wrong? How could I do it except Yahweh was with me, and I ain't trust you from day one? How could I do it if he wasn't there? When you sneaked and snaked and snuck down here, how do we know it except Yahweh wasn't there? That's why a lot of days I like to just go off by myself. Just sit down long enough to reflect, to think, to try to stay on the path, to walk with Yahweh. You got everybody got mouth. In the world, certain lessons, you can't learn it and apply it if you ain't there to see it. We read it in the book, but we don't apply it. The scripture says that they, measuring themselves by themselves, are not wise. You hear what I'm saying? I watched all brothers on job do something to me the other day. No brag, no boast, just a humble acknowledgement of Yahweh, just a simple pain that I carry every day. I'm in a certain position where I'm the only one that they got at this company that can do what I do. I'm the only one that they got that can do it. If I don't show up, it don't get done. If I don't show up, I took a day off and hung out with my grandchildren. Took a day, just did what I was supposed to do. Before he let them work, he shut them all down simply because I wasn't there. He didn't trust their judgment. Whereas I had given them assignment, told them everything to do. He shut them down. I go back, I get in there. You know what the devil did? He made everybody rise up against me because everybody knew more than me. I said, well, damn, why didn't y'all go ahead and do this and do that? And everybody got it, everybody's talking. And I watched it. I said, this is a lying spirit. This is what's on Yisrael. This is what they do to our priesthood. Wherever we're scattered throughout the earth, take time, sit down with some shepherds and say, hey, brother, tell me about some of the people you encounter. Just real quick, reflect on what you hear, what you see, and the type of people you do. Now, any shepherd tell you that everybody coming before him is a good Israelite, this one is obedient, this one, he lying. Or he ain't discerning. Because some of us, man, we are hell and high water walking in shoes. You hear me? So I watched how they all just knew more than I knew, telling me how to do everything. But the couple of days before I went off, nobody could do it. They just forgot how to do everything. I said, this is a stupid spirit. And when I rebuked them, they fell in line. So the next day, I was like, okay, I know what to do for y'all. Alarm went off, shut the alarm, I rolled back over. Ain't answering no call. I had 13 missed calls. They ain't answering no. I ain't calling nobody all day. They sent a lesbian on the job to take my place. You know I wrote that. Next day I said to them, oh, so y'all wouldn't listen to the brother man, but you listen to the woman man. Said it right in her face. Said it right in her face. So you don't listen to the brother man, but you listen to the woman man. She's a dyke. She'll write them up, cuss them out, do anything. And they was functioning. They were flying. They was doing this and doing that. I said, oh, this going to work out in my favor. I said, tomorrow, do me a favor. Where they got you working at tomorrow? She says, I don't know. If I'm not here, I ain't going to be nowhere. I said, do me a favor. You come in tomorrow. Come here. Oversee them. You come in tomorrow. Well, what you going to do, Pops? I said, oh, I'll be here. Do me a favor. Be their foreman. Supervise. Oversee them. I said, because what I'm going to do, I ain't got to talk to nobody. Oversee them. Run them. I want to see this. I want to see this experiment. I'm running an experiment now. See, the scripture says that the men have become weak like women. So they let a woman that thinks she's a man, want to be a woman, tell them what to do. And they were in total submission. Total submission. But you get a little man of Yahweh the blues. You hear what I'm saying? You ever said? Skip the personal stuff. I was there because Yahweh brought that trial on me because there was something I needed to learn. That's how Yisrael functions. That's how we function in the world. We won't hear the shepherds and the messengers of Yahweh because we go into this deep fake. We go into this sow discord thing. We go into this, I know more than him. I don't believe him on that. Well, this is what I learned. I. That's what Yisrael does. And I had to see it in real time to catch on and said, this is indicative of what we do in the assembly of Yahweh. But here's the catch. I realize a lot of men today, a lot of you older brothers, y'all can get mad at me for saying all you want, 65, 70, 75, 80. Y'all want to run and teach and lead people now. You ain't got no battle scars on your back. You ain't got no strength under you. You ain't got no bullets in your gun. You didn't do none of that till you come to Yahweh. Now you want to run and teach the people of Yahweh with no track record with Yahweh. If he called you to salvation, that's great enough. That's great enough. Now you want to give orders and instructions and talk and teach, but you didn't do it. Where were you 10 years ago when Yisrael needed you? Where were you 20 years ago? They still needed you. Where were you 30 years ago? They still needed you. Where were you? Now today, it's cool to preach and to teach because I ain't got nothing to do. I'm retired. I got nothing but time on my hand. Let me help the people get themselves together when you ain't never repented your damn self. You got to hear this. When he came down from the mountain, great multitudes followed him. Notice, y'all, him. Not me, not you. Great multitudes followed him. And behold, there came a leper and worshiped him, saying, Yahshua, if you will, canst thou make me clean? The leper knew he was unclean. Here, many of us today, we walking in it and don't even know we unclean. Finding fault, picking sides, choosing debates and all these different things. Take them damn debates and go to hell on. Pick your side and rock and roll with it. We're going to strive here to learn Yahweh's will and to live it. That's the best we can do. We're not going to show off. We're not going to make no apologies for being this, being that. We're going to strive, and we're going to teach it on this channel as best we can. All that other highfalutin stuff, I got to let you and you and you know I serve Yahweh. Do you know that the world will know you serve Yahweh if you just shut your mouth and serve him? You hear me? The world will know. The brothers stopped off. They went at the, we shifted job sites, went from one to the other. And on the process of stopping, they stopped off at this store. And everybody rushed in the store at the same time to go get something. Now check out what happened now. Go in the store. This family run the store. Husband and wife. I'm in the back. Well, actually, I'm at the front door. Everybody else is up at the counter doing this stuff. I'm at the door. Last one came in. Brother look out there and say, why you standing all the way back there? I said, I'm just waiting on everybody to go and get what they getting. He said, all right, everybody do me a favor. Move to the side. Move to the side. Come up here. What you getting, bro? How you doing? Remember me? And I said, forgive me if I don't. I said, sometime I meet a lot. He said, I know you meet a lot of people, Elder Johnson. That's what he said. He said, but they had to get out the way. Because I know what you out there in the heat doing, dear brother. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take care of you first. Everybody, wait a minute. Y'all have no idea who this is. Brother, oh, I know that chump. I work with him. This, that, and other. Brother said, oh, you call him a chump? So I ain't even going to wait on you. That's what he told him. So I ain't going to wait on you. I ain't asked for no special treatment. It kind of brought tears to my eyes because I really didn't know him. Brother said, I watched this channel every Shabbat. And I didn't know who it was because I meet so many different people. Sometimes in my trade, I work on how to do different things. You meet people as a journalist, talk show host, all of this community activists. You meet people. And the brother wouldn't take my money for the food. Would not take my money. I realized something. That them poor little shepherds of Yahweh, the city Yahshua went into. I'm going to get to this city. The city was called Capper or Caper, depending on how you say it. We now say Capernaum. It's actually Capernaum. Because the work of Yahweh's little servant Nahum was so magnanimous in that city, they changed it in honor of the little man of Yahweh. So when you get down in this verse later, you'll see where he went to Capernaum. Remember, it was changed in honor of a little man of Yahweh because he taught them people the right way, though he was hated by people who were living in sin. We failed to miss our calling as Yisrael because we're so busy trying to make ourselves great. Yahshua put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will. Be thou clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. See, that's power, Yisrael. That's power. And Yahshua reminded Yisrael that we got to do some great things. All the brothers today, everybody want a crowd drawn unto him. I got to be honest, man. 9 seats. I had this thing last night. I was sitting in here, right where Brother Courtney is, and I said, wow, Shabbat night. Everybody on this side of the building. There's nobody over here. I said, man, everybody coming to my, I should tell everybody, sit on this side of the building. And I was thinking, they witnesses, I was thinking there'll be just enough seats to seat everybody on that side of the building. Remember I said that last night? Look around. And the point being, Brother Alex Davis sent me a text last night. And the text really touched my heart because I never thought of it in that way. You know, we thank Yahweh for the lives of each of us as his children. But the text was very beautiful in the context of giving praise to Yahweh, not praise to Minister Johnson or myself. But the text simply said, Shabbat Shalom, my beloved elder. I hope all is well. Just sitting here with the family, just watching Minister Johnson preach. I know you must be proud to see all that you have instilled in him manifest. He's charged up. He's charged up in the Ruach HaKodesh. We Ahava y'all. And as I was reading the text, I was thinking, Brother Alex David, we love you all too. You all, the online remnant, we love all of y'all. But a lot of times people don't know the inside work of what it really takes to run an assembly. People don't know. They see you with a pretty shirt or something. They see you with your hair cut or something, and they think that's the glamour behind it. People don't see the hard work that goes into the word of Yahweh and why the messengers were so beat down or so pressured sometimes. But he reminded me of my father. And I was telling this story about how Elder Johnson could preach in the assembly back in the 70s, in the 80s, with 3 or 4 people. And he could preach just like it was 200 or 300. It made no difference to him. He preached because the Spirit of Yahweh was with him. And as a result, people were delivered by just hearing it. See, brothers today, they can't do anything unless they got a crowd. They got to have a following. They got to get the numbers up. They got to have all this stuff. And people really think that, you know, it's a glamour life. But to come out here to watch them brothers, Minister Taylor and Minister Johnson, labor on Friday night with more people online than there are in the building is a painful thing. It's a hurting thing, man. And I got to admit it to you all. You know, I know we working. I know we be tired or whatever the case may be. But look here, old man, I work construction. I don't give a damn how tired I am. There's this great miracle Yahweh does for me every Friday right around 2 o'clock. Every Friday, I get energized. Because I know, all right, I'm leaving these hoodlums. I'm going home, clean up. I'm going to see my family. And I'm going to come and see my family. We're going to present ourselves before Yahweh. I'm telling y'all, hear me well, prophetically speaking. Don't get caught with them days where we cry because we wish we could get together and can't. Now, I'm not talking about those that got to travel great distances and things that we however you all that travel weekly, bi-weekly to come here. I'm talking 35, 40 miles or better to sit in a building. But I'm telling you, Yisrael, these types of things serve as lines of demarcation. You know how you draw a line in the sand, so don't cross that line. I remember the Flintstones as a child, TV cartoon. It's the funniest thing I've seen. Fred Flintstone kept messing with this saber-toothed tiger because it was on the chain, on the rope. And the lion was drawing in the sand. He'd go there and pick at the thing, and it could draw. It couldn't get him because it couldn't go no further than the chain allowed it to go. But the animal was pretty smart. It knew Fred came to that lion and, shut up. But the animal, the beast, he raced the lion and backed out and redrew the line. I don't know if y'all ever seen that episode or not. When Fred went over there and did whatever it was he did, it jumped on him because he outsmarted the man. Yisrael, the lines are being drawn for us as a nation to get real, to put up or shut up. I do send a special message to people when you doubt me or you doubt my realness or you doubt the elders, the messengers of Yahweh, whatever. You have a right to doubt us, but we also have the right to tell you, go where your strength lies. I will say that to you. Go where you think your strength lies and stop lying to yourself. When you call me or text me and act like we brothers and you love us, stop that. You ain't got to put on no airs. Sometimes in life, let's be real, sometimes Yisrael didn't always like each other. Though we were commanded to love each other, let's be real, sometimes some in Yisrael were just so terrible, we really couldn't be dealt with. So we had to kind of like put that space between us. Need I give examples or y'all all right? See, David had a son. That's how close it was. His son was terrible. But David told them, bring him back to me. Don't kill him. Whatever you do, bring him back to me. But prior to that, he snapped off on his father, that split personality thing. And his father never trusted him because, see, when a person flip out on you, all it takes is one time because now you're looking at them funny. If they double cross you, all it takes is one time. You can forgive. We're commanded to forgive. But now it was David's half-hearted trust for his son because he realized, what's to say you won't do it again? You understand? This was why Absalom went around trying to win the hearts and minds of the people, saying stuff to them like, if I were the king, I would judge this way, or I would judge that way, or I would do this. Behind his father's back, trying to gain the confidence and strength of the people, when in reality, he was a ravenous wolf. Is that not how it went? So in the end, he tried to take his father and take the kingdom from him. We got to be paying attention, Yisrael, because we think that everybody wearing a dashiki or got the sacred name on their hat or on their clothes, or they wearing the tassels or got some little sandals. That don't make you living like the children of Yisrael. You really want to live wholeheartedly like Yisrael? Get rid of that car. Come on up out that house. Go build you something out there in the sand. Go get you some cattle. Come on now, if you're going to do it, go walk in your clothes until they just become complete rags on you now. Cut that nonsense out. Get rid of that phone. You ain't going to be on Facebook no more. Okay? You ain't going to be texting nobody. You ain't going down to Wegmans no more. Come on, cut that nonsense out now. You got to go out there and slay that cattle now. So stop that beefing over your feast days dates. Stop that beefing over whether or not somebody's wearing a tassel. We are here in captivity. Cut that nonsense out. Some of the trades and some of the jobs you all have taken, you don't realize yet you got to renounce the sin of the oath of loyalty that you've taken to that crap. Now you living like Israel now because you got some Hebrew letters on a shirt? How do you think like that and think you are above those that's really just laboring and striving? Let me tell you all about Yahweh choosing people now. Go back and look at the record in the word now, because when Yahweh does the choosing is never satisfactory to man. He never chooses according to the satisfaction of man because he ain't looking on the outward appearance. So that's how we catch a lot of you do-brews, because you think you're doing the work of Hebrew, but you're not. You do think you brewing, and to a degree you are. You simmering for the lake. Because you can't hear nobody. Couldn't even hear Yahshua. So he cleansed this leper. And Yahshua said unto him, see thou tell no man. Isn't that beautiful? Somebody do something so miraculous for you and tell, now look, won't you go tell nobody now. Just go do that. You hear what I say? Come on, man. I was telling my wife about a story. Something happened. A person I've known over 40 years. Worked with me, he talked about me like a dog. He don't like all them brothers around and talking trash about me, what have you, and talking talked about me like a dog. But this other brother, I've known him for 21 years. He didn't like it. He came and told me. He said, yeah, your man said this, that, and other. Y'all grew up together and all that, but that's what he said. That's how you feel about it. Then don't tell him I told you that. But yeah, that's what he said. Now here I'm standing in the midst of it, thinking to myself. Hadn't told my wife the story yet. Went in the house talking to her about other things, different stuff transpired. And she said something to me that was so touching. She said, yeah, because like we always say in this world, we have no friends. You remember that? We have no friends. Just Yisrael, we got each other. But my point was, now I got to play this properly. Like Dawid said, I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. Because here are two men that don't know Yahweh. One I've known for 40 years, one I've known for 21 years. The 40 years has some negative, disparaging remarks to say about me behind my back to the 21 years. The 21 years, I've heard before where you've said other things to other people behind my back. So here I am standing here as a man daily dealing with people in the world, and you got to realize I have no friends. These are just people in the world that I know. You understand? This is why on Friday I get energized, because at least I can go to the Bayat of Yah. When we sing that song, I was glad when they said, let us go into the Bayat of Yah. I don't know how nobody else feels, but I love that. I love to hear that song because it really is touching enough. You can't, man, I got this one sad story about being sick one time where I couldn't go to the assembly of Yahweh. I had to wait till Monday. I had to go to the hospital and get surgery. I had a tooth that swole up, an impacted tooth or whatever it was, abscess and all. It swole my head, everything's so large, and I was bad off sick. But I never forget that day because I never paid any attention to what my father's car looked like from the back. Till that day when he pulled off, going on to the assembly, and I was looking out the window, watching the car go down the street. I had never seen it from that perspective because I was always in it. That was the hurting day that I couldn't go to the assembly. So it bothers me if anything happens where I can't be in the house of Yahweh because I really realize I don't know nothing else. And I heard a man say earlier in the week, I said, well, why do you smoke so much all day, every day? Just smoking marijuana all day, every day. And he says, you know, I really don't know. Outside of the fact that I just love it, I don't know nothing else. And that answer baffled me. This is America now, it's the world. People walk around big sandwich bag full of weed like they got a sandwich. No, it's full of weed and papers to roll up and smoke because the man that made it legal. Hebrews, they smoking too. Don't act like we ain't. Smoking and out of our mind, just crazy as all outdoors. So I watched him. Gave him instructions 8 times. He said, I got you. Mind drift right off on something else. 8 times. This is what's in the construction industry. This is what's in the manufacturing industry. This is what's in the food services industry. This is what's going on all over the world. But spiritually, this is the same condition over Yisrael. You hear me? Watch what Yahshua says about all the people he heals. He says, see thou tell no man, but go thy way, show thyself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moshe commanded for testimony unto them. You hear what he said? Go and offer the gift that Moshe commanded. So there is something that Moshe told him to do. You go back in the book of Leviticus, I think it's chapter 14. Somewhere in the first 2 or 3 verses, 3 or 4 verses, where you find the gift of what was to be done when the leper was cleansed in Almighty Yahweh. People want to implement things in the law that now you're in captivity and don't have power to do. People try to focus on that. But then other things that in society you do have power to do, even in captivity, we try to ignore that. Notice Yahshua said, you go your way and offer unto the priest the gift that Moses commanded for testimony. This is a testimony unto them, because the work that I did here, when you show yourself to the priesthood, it bears the weight and the relevance and the equivalence of as if they had done this miracle. You get it? That's why he said, for testimony unto them. And when Yahshua was entered into Capernaum, or Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion, beseeching him, saying unto him, Hamashiach, my servant, lieth at home, sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. The way cerebral palsy and things like that work, it paralyzes the body at different parts in time. So this palsy had him paralyzed to a point in his degree where he could not move. He couldn't come out and go ask for prayer for himself. Here's somebody so concerned that ain't in the way, but so concerned, having heard of the literal process of Yahshua's reputation preceding him, came to Yahshua. You get this? Came to him and said, grievously tormented. And Yahshua saith unto him, I will come and heal him. Now, notice how willing he was to just go help. See, he felt the centurion's spirit. He felt his sincerity. He felt the same way we can feel some of you all when you ain't right. That don't mean every time we see or feel you ain't right, we blast off. Sometimes we remain kind and compassionate to one another because don't you want to be saved? You ever dealt with somebody where you knew they didn't like you? And technically speaking, you kind of felt the same way. But law speaking, Toraically speaking, you realize you better not discard them any kind of way. So then according to Torah, you still show kindness. You ever been in a predicament like that? That's how you on your way to salvation, by being able to apply the law when the scenarios emerge. You got me? Because you wearing tassels and walking around with your clothes out in the street showing off when somebody see your tassel, that don't mean you applying the law. Yahshua got on it first. He said they love that, having phylacteries and things, make it broad, got to have it seen, got the scriptures up here, want everybody see everything you're doing, but yet you inwardly, you're like a dead grave, a grave with a dead body in it. So we as Yahweh's people, more often than not, let me tell you the life of a Hebrew. And I'm not talking mental health issues or things of that nature, but the life of a Hebrew in reality is sometimes, somewhat, oftentimes sad. Because when you see stuff in the world, when you get pissed on, despised, and disrespected, there are moments where it will sit you down and draw tears to your eyes for a moment. And then you got to catch yourself knowing that you do have to be counted worthy to suffer these things sometimes. You hear what I say? Sometimes you have to go through that. And you feel kind of, I guess you could say, feel sorry for yourself. In sorry, it connects with another word, sorrowful. Right? Isn't that a moment when you really can cry out? Do you know at that moment, at that point in time, at that heartbreak, is chances are where you can get some of your best prayers through directly to Yahweh? Because he promised to never leave. How are we going to get them through? And a lot of times we just so self-righteous that it's just no matter what we live in, it's always about us. We always right. We always just so high-minded. Come on, man. When I read that post where that poor brother got down on that little Christian preacher, this is my point here. You holding the man to the letter of the law of Yahweh. He's a Christian. He don't know it yet. But the things in the word that he know are wrong, here's a man trying to stand up for it. So I wouldn't beat him up. I wouldn't knock him down on that yet. What happens if y'all would wake that man up, brother, like you claim he woke you up? What happens? And see, he already out there preaching. You home bluffing. He already out there trying. You home lying. And I'm calling you out. You lying. Acting like you so holy. I felt your spirit when I first talked to you. But yet I kept talking to you. Yisrael, speaking of talk, I talked to a dear brother from Chicago. I think he's in somewhere in Illinois. He did say the region of it. But it's in the suburban area, not many people out there like that. I don't think he expected me to answer the phone. But when I did, he got excited and kind of afraid to talk to me because he wasn't expecting to hear me. But he just wanted to call and thank us And I kept directing all of that thanks and all that praise to Yahweh, not to Elder Johnson, to Yahweh. But I admit that Native American brother's voice just did something to me. And I felt the same way you felt, dear brother, because I could feel your spirit. That brother was so genuine and so sincere, being all out there alone. Like some of us feel like Yahweh has nobody. Elisha felt like Yahweh, they killed all your prophets. They tore down your altars, and I alone am left. Yahweh had to remind him, no, you're not. No, you're not. I say this to encourage all of you. I don't care if you got a cabin in the woods. I don't care if you're living underground. I don't care if you're in the subway system, if you're incarcerated in prison, if you got to go listen in the library, wherever it is. Whatever trial or tribulation you're going through, whatever state you are in right now, just know for certain that two things have to happen. Number one, Yahweh put you in that predicament to watch over you in order to bring you out of it. So don't think it's strange or give up because you're in a sad case or situation. A lot of us got homes and jobs and everything pretty much in life where we don't pretty much want for anything, but yet we got different levels of trials and tribulations that we ain't even paying attention to. Then some that don't have what we have, they think that they got the weight of the world on them, whereas some of us that look like we got it easy, got stuff on us that the world sometimes can't even understand. Because why? We all have varying levels of trials and tribulations that we each have to be delivered out of. Know for certain, therefore, that like a person that watch TV and know all the programming, know every damn show that's coming on the TV. Well, in reality, y'all will know every one of your trials and tribulations. And as the book says, many are the trials of the righteous, but Yahweh bringeth him out of them all. So then, many are the trials of the righteous as well as many are the righteous. So now imagine many righteous people scattered all over the earth and many people having many trials, and Yahweh ain't going to leave you in a single one of them. We really got to come to know him like that. We really got to come to thank him. We really got to come in that. I pray that Yahweh lifted that brother's spirit and made him feel better. And you know how I know Yahweh did it? Because how he was feeling when he called me. When I left here and was locking the door, I was feeling it. I felt his spirit because I prayed for him and Yahweh lifted his burden, but it came on me. Did you hear what I said? It was so heavy. I was parked out front. I'm so used to parking out back. I left and I walked down the back. When I got down in the back, I was like, where the truck at? But while I was back there, I just lifted up my hands. And I prayed and I thanked Yahweh. It was that phone call and that prayer that did so much. And I thank Yahweh just for talking to him. He said, Elder, it's the way you word a thing. The way you put it together, the words are just so poetic. And I kept saying, then give all that praise to Yahweh because it ain't nothing great Elder Johnson did. But when I came back up that little airway and was going over there to get into that truck, the brother that lives next door that works over here spotted me when I was coming up the airway. And he stopped and said, how you doing, Elder Johnson? Just glad to see me. And I thought about us as Yisrael. We think sometimes we got it so hard. And then in the midst of all this, we either think we got it so hard or we think we got it so made. We got to be right in the middle where Yahweh can use it. Shepherds got to lay the word out like that now. They got to teach it like that now. Everybody got something to teach and say something to somebody. Everybody always got something to say. I worked with my crew. I ain't do too much talking. I wasn't really into it. I was thinking on something, praying and meditating. Bro, so you ain't talking to nobody, dude. What's wrong with you? There ain't nothing wrong with me. I just don't feel like being bothered. Go back down that way. Leave me alone. He giggled. I giggled too. But I'm in it. Because sometimes you got to get the wicked away from you just long enough that in your own perimeter, you can focus and order up your prayer. You hear what I say? My prayers ain't always for myself. My prayers are for Yisrael as a whole because we truly got to want for each other what we want for ourselves. So the centurion answered and said, Yahshua, I'm not worthy that you should come under my roof. Now you hear what this man said? This was somebody with a high-paying job of his day. He had authority. He said, but look, I'm not worthy that you should even come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I'm a man under authority, and have soldiers under me, and say to this man, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he cometh, and to my servant, do this, and he doeth it. And when Yahshua heard it, he marveled and said unto them that followed, truly I say unto you, I have not found so great a faith, no, not in Yisrael. Look at what the man was saying. Look at what the man was saying. The man said, I'm somebody of authority, what have you, but no, I need help. I got to come to you to heal my servant. Clearly, this servant had some type of rapport with this centurion. Clearly, this man meant something to this man in authority. You hear what I say? He meant something to him to go to Yahshua and let Yahshua know, I don't care how much authority I had. I'm coming to you, but I got to admit, my house ain't worthy of your presence. You are so great. I just ask that you heal my servant. And Yahshua said, I ain't seen this kind of faith among those to whom I am sent. Now you see why I say Yisrael is unfazed by Yahshua's power to heal and power to command. Unfazed by it. I remember years ago, I learned something through Elder Johnson, and I gotta admit, I was like a little child when it happened. We went out years ago to do a baptism. Elder Johnson, myself, and the little family that we were going to baptize. My father was getting older, but still demonstrated that strength. I don't care what we say. One thing about the human body, that mind can fake us out. That mind can say, yeah, go ahead, do it. You all right, do it. But that body can say, hold up now, because of that age. Elder Johnson he still demonstrated that manly firmness, that manly strength, what have you. He sent me on out as a disciple. I had to learn these things in order to teach it. So I go out in the water first. I'm all out in the water. And John say, how's it feel? I look back, kind of cold. He says, stretch your hands out and pray. As y'all warm the waters. Never done it before. Back and forth. I wave the waters back, wave it forward, ask y'all to be your will. Warm the water so that the family can be baptized. We ask this in Yahshua's name. The waters got warm. Now John said, how's it feel? I said, it feels all right. I had a little bass in my voice that time. The most beautiful thing happened just prior to the baptism. I don't know what kind of fish he was or whatever it was, but fish about this long. He just came cruising on through as if to say, hey, brother David. Kept on going, just went on through. And I looked at him thinking to myself, wow. He went on through. We did the baptism. We all went on home. Years later, had to do that again. But there was nothing like teaching the ministers how to do that. I stopped baptizing years ago. I stopped for a reason. I'm going to tell you all why. People would come here and, I want Elder John baptized. They come from across the country. I want Elder John. No, we don't create designer label leadership. We ain't taking no great credit, glory, and honor for nothing. Wherever men are in the name of Yahweh, they are Yahweh's servants. Nobody gets to say, yeah, I had that Johnson baptism. No. We go down in the name of Yahweh and his son Yahshua and of the Ruach HaKodesh, correct? So it's no designer label baptism. So to stop people from being able to go back years later, yeah, Elder John baptized me. I'm not anybody great. So younger men, take the reins. I was scheduled to go somewhere. This is a beautiful story. I hope they don't mind me telling this. I was scheduled to go somewhere, and it would require a great deal of walking. And as the family joke goes, I was voted off the plantation. This is the funny part. This was a blessing. The person said, well, I'm not going to take Pop with me because I got to do a lot of walking. So Pop might be tired and might not want to do the walking. So we made a joke about me being kicked off the plantation. But in other words, and the reality is, just as I recognized Elder Johnson was getting older and might not necessarily have the strength to do the baptism, though he still demonstrated manly firmness and strength. When I was, as we say, voted off the island, I thought of the beauty of somebody saying he might not feel up to doing all of that. And it wasn't disrespect. I realized it was a blessing from Yahweh that somebody acknowledged. You're getting older, and you ain't got to always do the things you used to do or have nothing to prove. You hear me? If we have nothing to prove, then as Yisrael, when we are unfazed by Yahshua's power to heal and command, we got to catch ourselves and realize we have nothing to prove to the world. We have to obey Yahweh that we might be approved by him. We have nothing to prove by showing off on each other. That makes sense? So here I am at that time where people acknowledge you ain't got to do that. So the woman man on my job said to all the laborers, hey, let me tell y'all one time. Everybody know what they supposed to do. Get everything in place before you do anything. Put everything over there that Pop need, because I don't want him doing nobody's job but his own. Am I clear? Let's not disrespect her. I don't like her lifestyle, but I give her credit. Yahweh made her honor me. I don't go around looking for honor, looking for respect. I'm saying it to you all as Yisrael. Yahweh will make the world respect his children, even when the world tries their damnedest to disrespect his children. If we stop writing ourselves this check of righteousness and just go off the balance that is in our account with Yahweh, we will do better. Am I making sense? This is how the centurion got counted, because Yahshua said, I ain't seen this type of faith even among my own. And remember, who was he sent to? Gentiles got to know, if y'all really want salvation, you got to go in the hunt. You got to go looking for it. You hear me? Because he didn't go to them. They could receive salvation, but they had to hunt for it. You get it? Why do we as Israel act like it's me? Salvation is me. I'm the one. I'm going to condemn this one, that one. Nah, Israel, we are in a predicament now, but we really can't condemn the Christian world the way we want to. Just by saying, oh, there ain't nothing. Oh, there ain't this, that, and other. Da, da, da. We were in the world too. And without the word and without hope, just like they were. We made him so angry, he said that we were a people that were his people. Now you shall not be my people. He cast us off. He got so tired of us that now that we awaken to the knowledge of it, we got to walk in this thing and walk so humbly, you just shut your mouth. You hear what I say? I took my crew, one brother, he had automobile broke down and went to drop him off, and they just happened to use the same bank I was using in one instance. Never opened the envelope till I got there. Looked at the envelope, my check was way short. Way short. Another man went to cashiers, they wouldn't cash it. Something they said was wrong with the check. As a foreman, as a superintendent, I always got to be the babysitter. Got to call the office on his behalf. Here, I got a problem myself. I'm calling on his behalf. Lady talked real nasty to me, real greasy to me. Got the man's problem straight. So what about you? I said, don't even worry about it. I'll get mine straight Monday morning. I'll be up to the office 5 a.m. I'll get it straight now. I ain't gonna worry about that. Check was so small and so embarrassing. I said, well, let's just go ahead and put it in the account. Lady said, well, which account? It doesn't even matter. Put it in there. It don't matter. Didn't worry myself with it. And I thought to myself, saying, I'm not even going to get offended or be hurt that I always look up and have to defend men. Got to get things straight. Got to get this set on their hours. Got to make sure they got this. Got to get that. Water, ice, all the stuff we need. But nobody ever stops to take time to look out for me. That's what I was saying to myself, feeling sorry for myself. Till I got up out of that mode and realized, why I got to feel sorry for myself? With the blessing which Yahweh has gave me, bought lunch, treated people fairly, did kind. Some of them barely eat, different things happening. They went to lunch. Everybody went off, got their stuff. Nobody think about poor little me. I ain't say a word. Went to that truck. My Yahshua had made me one of the most beautiful sandwiches. Sat in that truck and ate. And I thought about society saying nice guys finish last. Whatever that crap means. But I do know this. Today I am going to be what they call the nice guy. I'm going to finish last. Y'all ate y'all lunch and burped and did all this stuff. I'm going to sit right here and I'm going to finish last. I'll go back when I feel like it. But I thought on what David said in his prayer. I don't need you to buy me now. I don't need you to feed me. I don't need you to think on me or any of that. As long as Yahweh's people, wherever they are, think on us. And we think on one another. Somebody's thinking on me while I'm thinking on him or her. Somebody's praying for me. Somebody's praying for you. Will we keep the circle going? David said in Psalm 37, I believe it is, I once was young and now I'm old, but I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Ha! And I went home and thanked my Yahshua for my lunch. That was a special lunch that day. Even when the devil tried to make it hard for me, I tried to pay attention to it, to learn from it. Because, see, when we're idle and ain't got all this time, all this free time, we get tired, I'm going to do this in the name, do this and do that. You don't do nothing because you're trying to do all the ways of the world. You hear what I say? Poor little shepherds of Yahweh. Aaron retired. Remember how Aaron's retirement package came in? Aaron's retirement package was a strange retirement package in Yahweh. Because they took the priestly robes off of him. And then he passed. That's serious retirement. You are so into Yahweh. You know the precise moment that you really will retire. You get that? All these brothers today, they ain't got, now everybody want to be a teacher because you got free time on your hand. Be a messenger and a shepherd of Yahweh and manage your life. Let your life start at 4 and 5 a.m. in the morning. Let your life end 12, 1 o'clock at night. Get back up and start all over again and keep Yahweh's people in mind. Keep this text and prayer in mind. Keep this call in mind. Remember to call this one back. Make sure you keep this one in prayer. Don't forget to turn the light on. Don't forget to pay this bill. Don't forget to do this, do that. Manage all this stuff. Then go home and manage to have a true smile, not a hypocritical smile, but a true smile where you are genuinely glad to see your family. You hear what I say? Manage all that. Don't manage it because you retired and that's what you want to do now because you got number time on your hand. You can do it. When Yahweh called, did you answer then? See, we are unfazed by Yahshua's power to heal and command because this thing got down to the wire where he had to actually command even the weather. So we as Hebrews get around and think we're doing something so great because we wearing Hebrew style clothes. How you know it's Hebrew style? You up here in 21st century. How you really know? You understand what I'm saying? They done lied to us about so much. Some stuff that we do have record of, we will not walk in line with it because we're so busy searching so much stuff. We're like a raggedy football team that just happened to stumble into the hunt. So now we're trying to get a slot in the Super Bowl, but we're in the hunt. You got to beat this team to make it over there to the slot. Then you got to beat the next team to get to the playoff. So now we're in the hunt. And that's how Hebrews treat Yahweh. We got to stop that. All you got to do really is just relax and obey him. People want you to teach what they want you to teach. They want you to go over this and go over that. No, sometimes you got to search the scriptures. Or if I update that for you, hear me use right, yeah. Search the channel. Over 1,000 messages on there. Sometimes what you looking to hear, what you need, has already been preached before you discovered the channel. Minister Johnson took us back down memory lane last night. He mentioned the fact that everybody looking to get great numbers and followers and all this other stuff. But when we were set up and we had to go process it doing it, we followed under Ray Dawee's channel. We were linked in together, whatever the case may be. Eventually, we got kicked off of that, and we had to start all over again. We would preach, just like we do now. There might be 1 or 2 people online, just like he said. And then you get 1 subscriber. We never forget when we get the first subscriber. It was interesting. Then you get 2 subscribers. And then you might have 5 viewers or 8 viewers and 4 subscribers. And it went slowly but surely. We just did the work. We preached as if we were preaching in a stadium with 300,000. We just labored in the word. One thing about struggle. Yahweh blessed us where we all had to tithe, give an offering. We had to put it together, pool the resources, had to get different things done just to hold it together, just like we do now. This ain't the Joel Osteen Ministries, okay? We are serving Yahweh, and Yahweh will make Yisrael struggle and strive because it keeps you grounded. It keeps you so humble. And even when it hurts you, because as the Apostle Paul said, we're always in need, in need of all things, cast down, but you're not forsaken. You understand how it all goes? I'm going to get to that scripture if I get a chance. But we just always know the weight of serving Yahweh. We're not going to be like the world where they got everything they want. I know a man, he got everything heart could desire. He greedy as hell. Got everything and still need more. Because he don't know Yahweh. Hear what I say? When I popped that check open and saw that 3/4 of my money wasn't even there, I ain't even get mad. I said, look at this. Oh, well, I'll straighten it out Monday. But it's the efforts to steal. Because if don't nobody say nothing, ain't nobody going to say nothing. You get where I'm going? So then, like the word says, the love of money is the root of all evil. Brothers want big crowds. They want numbers. They want viewers. They want people. Send an offering. Send an offering. What you going to do with it? Can you send an offering? Can you help do this? Can you send the word over there? Can you do this? We got people that send so many stamps. I was sitting in here, in case you all don't know, I come here and I work on the newsletter and the things that we're supposed to send out to everybody. I work on all of it. I guarantee by the time we get everything in place and start sending it out, I'll be 15, 20 newsletters ahead of everybody. As well as mailings and stamps, because people send stamps, do them things. In fact, somebody sent an offering the other day, an envelope. Somebody had cut the envelope open. This is the funniest thing, probably looking for money. Somebody cut the envelope open. And the letter was in there thanking us for the work that we do in the name of Yahweh. And some stamps. I put the stamps with the rest of the collection stamp. Prayed for the person. Thank Yahweh for their support and assistance in doing that. That's the type of things Israel got to endure. You hear what I'm saying? For Yahweh's name's sake. We think the world going to come up and honor us right now and start bowing because you're wearing tassels, because your head is wrapped, because we got a dashiki, or because we got sandals on our feet. Come on, Yisrael, we got some great work ahead of us, and we ain't catching on. Man, talk to me up. They said, man, this world crazy, man. The world is crazy, bro. I said, man, you ain't gonna believe what your boy doing. And he got a little grandson, and his grandson 18. Yeah, I'm getting ready to say, yeah, little boy like this. When I met him, he was like this, but he up here now, he 18. He said, man, you ain't gonna believe what your boy doing, man. I said, yeah, how's he doing? Little doctor, how's he doing? And I call him the doctor because he would always, when I would go past the house, he'd run up on me, his little curly hair. How you doing, Mr. DJ? You doing all right? You okay? You feel okay? And I said, yeah, I'm fine, little man, little doctor. You gonna be a doctor when you grow up? Just always teasing. So he said, man, he ain't that little doctor no more, man. You ain't gonna believe what he did, man. I said, what'd he do, man? What he doing, man? He said, man, we set everything up, got him ready for the prom, man, all this stuff, man, and got his little prom date together, hooked up all this stuff. He took a dude to the prom. That's what he said. Man, all my hard-earned money, my work, everything, man, trying to back it up, man. That part, they held it for the last minute. He said, man, that's how children act now. They dating each other because ain't nobody teaching them. He said, but you know what I thought about you? Because you always be saying, man, we got to live by that Bible. He said, man, I was so ashamed because I ain't even know no verse to go in the book and even quote to him or say anything about it. You say it's wrong, you just look like you wrong. Because he didn't know. That's because Yisrael, we won't take a stand and we won't teach the word of Yahweh, but everybody want to teach somebody something. Everybody want to teach somebody something, man. I watch these elders today, these older brothers. Y'all, I got to say it, old men. Y'all don't have the stamina of approach that the older men from the generations gone by had. And we should be ashamed of ourselves as that. As elders, as old men, we should literally be ashamed of ourselves when we can't point the young men in the direction of the script. Damn them conspiracy theories. I don't know how many members of the Illuminati is. I don't even give a damn. There's 888 of them all together. How you know? Were you serving them when they be eating dinner or something? Would you mop the floor? How you know? We into stupid stuff. We pretend to have profound knowledge of things that sometimes don't even connect to nothing. Can you understand what I'm saying? Imagine me. Give me a volunteer. Somebody raise your hand real quick. Give me a volunteer. I'll pick a side. All right, but put his hand up first. Imagine me having to meet you on the side of the road. You got flat tire. Oh, John, you got air pump? Yeah, I'm on my way. Where you at? So all right, I'll pull up. I'll get the little air pump out. I'm going to help you with your car. Only to realize now, I I ain't got an air pump. This is a flashlight. But now I want to talk to you about the joy of watching the football game just before you called. Like that really connect. And you thinking, oh, Don, number one, I don't care about no football game. Number two, I was sorry to disturb you. Number three, you did jump out here to my rescue. But number four, I'm right back where I started from because you ain't got no air pump or a spare tire to help me. And you want to talk to me about the football game. Elder, don't worry about it. Boom, boom. You start slamming the trunk, locking the door, and walk on down the road. That's Yisrael. We portray all this righteous stuff and ain't saving a single soul. Just want to be seen. And I say unto you, verse 11, that many shall come from the east and the west and shall sit down with Abraham, Yitzhak, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Isn't that a rough time? Now, if the kingdom, what does the scripture say? Yahshua said in another verse, fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Then we got to live it. Give me 1 second. Fight off a sneeze. All right, there we go. You know what I just thought about? I know people got to think of us and say, yeah, them brothers are really real there. You ever seen people do the evening news? You ever seen anybody on the news sneeze? No. You ever see them stop cough? Once or twice, right? You know we be real. I stop sometimes. I blow my nose. Can you imagine how? Right, because it's just certain things publicly you don't do. People can tell we real. John, get up here and blow his nose in a heartbeat. I'm sorry. I'll cough and pardon me. It be real, it be live. Don't nobody go back and edit them coughs. I've even had people at home text me or send me a message. El Johnson, get Burberry sauce or get jalapeno. So I understand, but I'm just saying. Anyway. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast into outer darkness, and there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And Yahshua said unto the centurion, this is so comforting. Go your way. And as thou hast believed, so it be done unto thee. And his servant was healed in that self-same hour. You hear that, man? I remember we were down ill. Me and Amy Jacob, we were down together, boy. Man, that was a miserable time, boy. But her breathing, and I can always testify to this story because I lived through it. Her breathing really just deeply troubled me so bad that I laid there probably breathing the same way. And I begged Yahweh, if it be your will, please have mercy upon us. And I remember the psalm that says, I shall live and not die, and shall declare the word of Yahweh. But I begged and pleaded for that woman. And after I finished my prayer, I heard her say, she breathed a sigh of relief. And it was from that moment onward, every day thereafter, we got better and got our strength. Am I lying? We have to trust Yahweh. If we're unfazed by Yahshua's ability to heal, ain't no need of coming to him. You understand? We really, as Yisrael, going to be out here now in the raw, depending on all that we have to trust in Yahweh. That's why, as all y'all, as my little grandchildren, all y'all, I treat you all the same, and I pray for y'all's generation, because with great sadness, I say, I see what's coming, and my biggest fear or my pain is that one of two things happen. Number one, I know I ain't Yahshua, so I ain't gonna get no Messiah complex. But you ever want to help somebody out so bad that you're willing to go through what they got to go through so that they don't even have to deal with it? I remember a family member of mine years ago, he got murdered. And I remember what his brother Charles said when I talked to him. He said, out of all the people in the world to get killed in a situation like this, so he didn't deserve that. He says, man, if I could wish for his sake that it were me, I would prefer that it had happened to me than him, because his brother didn't bother anybody. He didn't do anything. He didn't do wrong to people like that. But young man just shot him in the head at a sweet 16 birthday party. Now, sometimes you're not always in a predicament where you can say things to people. But I knew the word of Yahweh. 3 times in Scripture, they held birthday parties. And each one of them parties in Scripture ended in death. And I thought on that. But that wasn't appropriate at that moment. Now why somebody say, speak the word of Yahweh at all times. You got to know when to speak words of comfort. You got to know when to go forward, when to back away. But I knew at that moment that wouldn't have fit in his moment of grief. And I did say in comfort, well, let's look at it like this. My father used to say when he was alive, no matter what you're going through, Yahweh is too wise to make a mistake. It went the way he intended it to go. And he took comfort in that. Although I realized that that sweet 16 birthday party and the celebration, things like that, the young man was disorderly, so he went to put him out and asked him to leave. And then on his way out, he stopped, turned, and shot him straight in his forehead. Just killed him. Somebody that had never been in a fist fight, to my knowledge, that had never cursed at anybody, to my knowledge. I'm not pumping him up or making him a righteous man. I'm just saying, in the earth, in this lifetime, that's the type of person you would want to see live, because if they come to know Yahweh, that is a beautiful person. So I bring that out because a lot of times as Yisrael, when I look at the younger generation and know some of the things that's coming, my biggest fear is that I'll either be too old to really help out, or even worse, as my time, like anybody's time, may come where I ain't here to guide you or to teach you or to show you. And that's why y'all would put us in generation gaps where there are men younger than myself that walk in the law of Yahweh, that teach you all as men younger than themselves. You got me? You got me? You hear me? You got to know that. That's why we have to remain so steadfast in Yahweh from one generation unto the other. Because I'm going to tell y'all, we got a lot of bluffing out here, man. We got a lot of stuff going on where people are standing and pretending to serve Yahweh, but operating in capacities and things wherein Yahweh didn't call them. But if they would just stand still and wait with the perfection of Yahweh on their calling, then when he goes to use them, it would be all the more perfect. Make sense? I learned one thing in Yahweh, and that was, as a young man, I was never raring to go, never raring to teach. Oh, John, put me up. Let me teach. Let me talk. Let me at him. Let me. I learned I was the direct opposite. I didn't rush to do that. John would get tired of going up there and teach something. But I ain't got nothing. Well, get up anyway. Y'all will give you something when you get there. And you know what? He has not failed me yet. I can get out here and not have a broadcast topic and get to that studio and give it to me. Sit right there. I can get up here and not have all the notes in the world, information, whatever, and Yahweh give it to me. We have to trust him. He gave it to the prophets and the apostles of old. We are the same people today. I was appalled earlier this year myself when I ran into a messenger that don't believe in going to Yahweh for prayer to get answers to things. Once I learned that, I was done. I don't give a damn who in the world get mad at me for cutting somebody like that loose. That's somebody I don't want to be hanging around. When we got trials and tribulation, the scripture says men ought to always pray and not to faint. Then we must go to Yahweh, because the scripture says that that was the fatal error of the priesthood. Does it not say the priest said not, where is Yahweh? They didn't ask. They just did a thing. And we cannot just do things and then think, well, he's with me because I did it. Go rob a bank. Get yourself 3 partners. Get a driver and 3 men or 2 to go on up in the bank with you. See if something don't go wrong. At the end of it, when it go wrong, somebody didn't do their part. What you going to say? Well, he was with me. But if it fails, it fails. Yahweh can't fail us. There's no failure in him. The failure came in us as a nation, okay? So in that same hour, says that the servant was healed. Take note, Yisrael. And when Yahshua was coming to Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother laid and sick of a fever. Check this out now. And he touched her hand. See, you got men today, they don't talk to women, they don't touch women, all of that stuff like that. Come on now, you're a little too misogynistic now. You greet the sister. I don't mean no hugging on one another now like you have no old Avenue hug fest. I mean, you greet your mothers, the different one, the younger women and sisters. People got to understand all of those rigid military crap. Yisrael is a family. You understand? You know, rigid family. My grandma, but I want to speak to her, but I can't speak to grandma. I ain't said nothing. You eat yet? Yeah. I had a plate. Thank you. We try to be too righteous. The secret to righteousness is not trying to be righteous. The secret to righteousness is living it. To be fair leads one to be just. To be just leads one to be righteous. To be righteous is what leads to being holy or kodesh. You understand? It is a succession of steps. It ain't nothing you just learn and then you just start. All right, now tomorrow, baby, when we open that front door, from this day forward, when we go out, we're the new righteous folks. It's not how you do it, okay? You just live it. You learn these things, you learn this way of life, and you just simply start living it. Put it in practice. Does this make sense yet? And when Yahshua was coming to Peter's house, he saw his wife's mother laid and sick of a fever. And he touched her hand. Now, was he trying to signal her? Meet me out back when you feel better, babe. And when the fever left her, she arose and ministered unto them. Let me stop right there. Did she get up preaching? All right, then. Ministering got them helped in other ways. She did specific things. There was no preaching there. You know, come on now. Yisrael, they get carried away with the women preaching things. Say, well, they ministered in the Bible. Well, the drivers of the ambulance and the other person that ministers first aid, are they preachers? But yet they come and administer first aid to you, don't they? They come and minister unto your wounds, right? Get bad off sick and ain't nobody take you to the hospital. See if you ain't glad to see that ambulance when they pull up, right? That's the one time in life where you don't mind the noise or none of that, right? They come, whoo, you be like, whew, I'm glad they here, right? You ain't never needed them, okay, I understand, but I'm just saying. And when the evening was come, they brought unto him many, not no one or two. Look at what it says, many that were possessed with devils. And he cast out the spirits with his word. Okay, brothers, y'all got so much mouth. What was the word? What was the word? Ooh, booga booga. Abracadabra. No, get out of here. It says with his word, meaning whatever he spoke, and healed all that were sick. People run around today, they don't believe in that. I'm going to tell y'all right now, you ain't got no generating like them old, I'm going to use this word, but you ain't got that generating like them old church mothers that believed in the power. Remember them, that older generation? Them older mothers. I watched, where was I going? I don't even remember where I was going. Oh, I do remember where it was. I was Clifton and Monroe. I was going to pick somebody up early in the morning. And there was an old church mother out there at Shiloh Baptist Church. Monroe and Clifton. Had one of them old style bonnets. Hat on her head where it keep the sun out here. Old mother out there sweeping. She had the whole sidewalk clean. And you know how I could tell? Because I looked up the street. I was waiting on traffic coming up looking. I was looking at the old lady out there cleaning. She out there every morning. See? No, I ain't lying. Got a witness. Out there every morning, huh? She's right there at the corner. I said, look how she cleaned that whole block. I don't see a piece of trash nowhere. And I drove on past. Dressed, had a little dress on down to her ankles, fairly neat, decent, elderly woman. Had a little bonnet on. I said, now a little woman like that, she'll stay out there all day and won't even be bothered by the heat. Now these things today, what a coincidence. I said, these things that, look. Later in the day, working through a Hill Avenue, Adding Street. Little small street. White man and woman came out there and cut the grass at the lot. White woman, lawnmower. Shorty shorts, booty shorts, breasts hanging out. Brother then had lunch, did everything, working on the scaffold. I'm up above him, but he was below me a little bit on the scaffold. disappeared. And I said, look at him, y'all, like the Pittsburgh Steelers. There you go, you're in the hunt. What you mean? I ain't said another word. Made his way all the way over there. You never saw the white man at all till that black man approached with that hard hat. And I said, that's probably a husband. Good enough for you. See how we think? Chasing. Gentile out there with her little booty shorts, whatever. So what? The point was, you were working. Went all the way over there signifying. We don't have that generation of elder mothers like we used to. We don't have that generation of elder men like we used to. Every now and then you find an older man that's what you would call a gentleman, somebody with some esteem, some respect, some love for the Torah. They're rare in this day and age now, okay? I'm telling y'all honestly, they are rare. You find elder brothers like that. Because out here now in the world, brothers can be old, have a beard full of gray hair, and be 40 years old. You're like, boy, you look like you're 83. How old are you again? Yeah, underwear, everything. Everything you think of, underwear showing. We were coming, what, last night, was it? Little fat man crossing the street. He wide as 2 chairs. So I pull up at the light, no, the stop sign. And we gotta watch the traffic. I gotta come out and I'm looking. Now I pull up. He just standing there. So brothers was standing on that side on the corner. So I'm thinking he just out there loitering like everybody. So he's standing there. So I stopped and I looked at him. He looked at me. He ain't moved. So then I drifted up. But as I drifted up, he coming this way in front. Man, he was cussing me out some kind of bad, wasn't he? We read his lips. And I was just looking. I'm like, look at Fat Boy. See, Fat Boy giving me the business. Yes, my Ishan said, you know what he doing? He going over there, going to get something to eat. Going to go over there, old fat self, and get something at the Chinese joint. Not disrespecting fat people, but you all know how y'all talk. Come on, don't act like y'all don't say it. Y'all look at him, old skinny south. So anyway, where was he going? He didn't cross over and go on and get on the sidewalk. He going to walk in front of me, down the street, and then go diagonally across. Now, when I make the turn to get in my lane, where he at? Right there in front of me again. So I know he started giving me some more of the business, but by then we just kind of like laughed and kept on going. One thing you can do about it, go and get your little chop suey or whatever it is you're going to do, your egg, ooze or noodles, egg foo young, go get it all. But anyway, yeah, shrimp fried rice with french fries. And a Diet Coke. You know how they do. So it says here, and when he had cast out the spirits with his word and healed all that was sick, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, himself took our infirmities and bare our sickness. Our shepherds, they don't believe in all that today. All we want to do is just be seen wearing Hebrew clothes. Just want to be seen wearing Hebrew clothes. Come on, man. You think Daniel and them down in the lion's den wearing Hebrew clothes just in there showing off? Boy, look these tassels, right? Yeah. Look at these. And the lion, he looking. Yeah, they do look pretty good, though. I was going to eat you, but Yahweh said don't eat you. Let your tassels, go on, do your thing. No, man. That's us today as Yisrael. We just so into being seen. I want to be seen by the eyes that are not seen by the world. That's all I want. I want Yahweh to see me. I want he whose eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun to see me. And I want him to see you. And that's why we labor in the word the way that we do. Everybody wants you, our shepherd deal with the lost books. Okay, all right. We got them. But let me tell you about the real lost books. The real lost books are these. Because, see, if you don't read them and live by them, you're lost because of the books. Why? Because you wouldn't read them. People think, our pastor used the lost books. Okay, I lost a notebook in 3rd grade. Somebody found it. Did it save them? These books, I'm dead serious. We don't know what's in this book. The first 66, most people don't know what's in it because if they knew they'd live it, life would be so much better for you. You understand? This ain't no musical. Life would be a dream. La, 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 la. Cut that crap out. Life would be so much better for us if we simply learn, okay, we transgressed in such a way that everything from Adam's fall to you and I today, everything is a chain reaction of so much different stuff, all because our daddy didn't do right. So then we all come along. How are we any better? We all, if you didn't do this sin, you did that, right? You didn't do that one, you did that one. You didn't do that one, you did that one over there. You didn't do that. For all have sinned and come short. So you watch Israel just steadily beefing and magnifying and promoting division time after time after time. That's why a lot of times we can't get along. We don't even feel safe and comfortable around each other as family. Sometimes you look up and just say, oh man, here we go. We can go through this again. You ever seen that one brute like that? Don't tell me I'm the only one. Maybe I am. I don't know. But anybody ever had that one Hebrew, when they look up, you see him, oh man, here she come with this. You look up and say, oh man, here come brother, man. Here we know we can make go to. Anybody, you know what? I mean, all right, I'm gonna greet him when he comes. Hey, shalom, how you doing? Well, look, y'all, I gotta go. I see y'all now. Tell me you ain't been through. And it should not be that way, but let's keep it realistic that people got on Yahshua's nerves too. Now, when Yahshua saw great multitudes about him, he gave commandment to depart unto the other side. And a certain scribe came and said unto him, Master, I will follow you whithersoever you go. I'll check it out now. I'm with you. I'm with you all the way. I did. Okay. You know those are the ones that ain't going to go, right? See, somebody that's shown up, as the young people say today, shown up ride or die. They ain't got to announce that they rolling with you. They a ride or die. Guess what? You got your keys in your hand. You go to get out there. They stand there with their hand on the door. You like, what's up? Open the door. They ready. You be like, well, I really didn't need. Oh, I'm with you. Shut up. Drive. That's how you do, right? Now, when Yahshua saw it, he gave commandment to depart to the other side. So this scribe said, I'll follow you whithersoever thou goest. Yahshua said unto him, the foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man hath not where to lay his head. Now that's a serious charge. Came to bring salvation unto the earth, didn't live like a king, ain't had no big white mule or none of that fine horse with the white hat, none of that. He said he didn't even have anywhere to lay his head. And yet Yahweh always made provisions for him in this earth. 33 years of it without the con of a mortgage payment. You hear me? 33 years of it without the hustle of a cell phone bill so that the Hebrews could text him. You at the temple yet? LOL. No. Okay, I got y'all right. Okay. 33 years of it. Then Yahshua and another of his disciples said unto him, Master, suffer me first to go and bury my father. Yahshua said unto him, follow me and let the dead bury their dead. Now, I guess a lot of people will write that in and say, well, there's got to be more to that. What did he say and what the man do? Well, okay. If you were sincerely out for salvation and you standing here talking to salvation and that was the statement you made to him and that was the answer he gave you in return, don't worry about what the man did. The now question is, what would you do? Right? Don't even go looking, trying to figure out like the heathen say, what would Jesus do? Don't worry about that. What would you do when Yahshua spoke to you? Okay? Because see, that's how people are in the world today. And that's what I meant earlier. A lot of people now, you just come into the knowledge of Yahweh. Won't even sit down and get taught, or you think you already know. Will challenge those that have been in it, and Yahweh taught them how to do it so that these things repeat annually. But now people just so messed up, they sorted all off with all kinds of doctrine, got all kinds of little subtle slanders and slurs where they rolling with this one or rolling with that one. I don't care who you rolling with. We ain't seeking no fan clubs here at the Assembly of Yahweh. Okay? We're not seeking that. We're going to just put out the truth in Yahweh's word. And sometimes, to even avoid divisions, disputes, and confrontations, sometimes you got to let things go or people go. Sometimes you just got to leave them alone. Okay, well, you go and do what you do. You know, that's you. You do that, right? That's how you do. And when he was entered into the ship, his disciplined ones followed him. And behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves, But he was asleep. Now, you know this got to be serious. You ever seen them video clips on YouTube with them ships out there? I mean, the big ocean liners. They out there straight water, dipping and bobbing and bouncing, got 35,000 containers on them. All this weight just bouncing around in the water. And you ain't going to tell me you downstairs playing checkers, chilling. You kind of thinking, too, now we could die at this job, and I won't even get to cash my check. He was asleep. That's serious. Sleep. I remember years ago, we were in the house, sleep. Father was in there reading the Bible, whatever it was, and I was, you come in from school in the evening and news on, whatever it is, and dark clouds hit, thunderstorm hit. I was in there asleep. Thunder. Kabam! Boom! Pow! And El John was like, what's the matter with you? Just as calm. Didn't say it right away when I jumped up. He looked at me for a second or two, like, get yourself together first. And then said, what's the matter with you? Now, I didn't say, back then, you mean what's the matter with me? I was scared to death just now. Didn't you hear that? But as a child, you like, nothing. Because you realize, okay, he calm, then maybe I need to be calm. And Elder Johnson was like that in Yahshua all the days of his life. Nothing ruffled his feathers. He stayed calm. And I pray to get like that, because that's what we want to do as a people of Yahweh, where we have so much trust in Yahweh. He would fix his little dinner, eat dinner, and then sit back in the kitchen and talk to us in his little chair, sit there and cross his little leg like this. Sit there and talk to his little leg crossed, then just drift on and go sleep. So, you're concerned. Steady. Why don't you get up, go on, sit in the living room, lay down, you can rest yourself. That way you don't fall out that chair. My father said, fall out of what chair? As long as he on the throne, I ain't gonna fall. And as long as I knew him, he ain't fall. You got to have that kind of faith in Yahweh, Yisrael. You got to trust Yahweh. You hear what I'm saying? We get out here in the world and we want prayer for this and that and the other. Well, this is how we adjust and address this. No, first and foremost, we're all going to die. One day you're going to die. You're going to die of something, unless you just happen to be that number where you get translated in the moment, in the twinkling of an eye. But outside of that, let's be clear. Serve Yahweh and enjoy life all the days of your life. To enjoy life now, I'm not saying that you got to be shopping on these lavish spending trips and multiple vacations annually and all this stuff. I know Hebrews that came up poor, but got good government jobs and different things, and now they live like that, and they really forget Yahweh. They just live in lavish. I got a summer home, I got this, I got that. None of it means anything. It really means nothing. Get down and get in bad health and see if you don't suddenly want to reacquaint yourself with Yahweh. But it is better to be acquainted with Yahweh in good health, in bad health, in riches, in wealth, in poverty, in pain, in sickness. It pays to be so acquainted with Yahweh that some of these little trials you'll go through will be so great and so severe to you. But your relationship with Yahweh is so cemented, you don't even realize how severe the trial is that you're going through, though you're praying to be delivered. Because somebody on the outside, they're amazed that you came through it. You hear me? That's what the doctor said about me in 95. That toothache and that abscess, that poison was running through my body and different things. The doctor said, one more day, just one more day, and you wouldn't have been here. Now what? The doctor said. Now Johnson said he prayed for me. Yahweh told him that I was coming up out of it. He said, I have never prayed for anybody in my life that had that kind of pain and agony. So when he prayed for me, and I went through what I was going through and all of that pain and agony, that moaning and groaning, I was like a little child. I leaned over on my father, man. I mean, I'm telling you, I was a grown man, but I leaned over on him, and he was my comfort in Yahshua. And that little man prayed for me. When they came in that back with that gurney and got me and took me, I started feeling better. But when I recuperated, he told me what that doctor said, and I remembered it. He said, Yeah, that's what the doctor said. Yahweh told me you had to go through it in order to be strengthened and that you wasn't going to die. He said, well, here you are. And I said, yeah, here I am. We got to learn to trust Yahweh like that. Do me a favor, Yisrael. Don't be no show off, okay? Don't be that type of person where you, I know I'm righteous. Just humble yourself, okay? If you ever went shopping or to go buy something and pull your money out your pocket and you ain't got enough and there's people in line, that's an embarrassing thing. Or in this modern age, you go swipe your card and your card get declined or what have you. That's an embarrassing thing, right? But now imagine Yahweh, where all your prayers are heard. It just don't come when you want it. But all your prayers are heard. And all your trials. Look, stop right now. Watch this. I guarantee ain't a person in the building going to deny this. Let me step out here so I can see y'all. Name one trial. Just one. That you've been through since you've known him. That you haven't come out of. Got him. They can't name one. And if you're in something right now, wait on him. Wait on him. You've had trials and tribulations all your life. You ready for this? You came out of your mother's womb with a trial. Did you come out breathing? Remember back in the, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Doctor smacked that bottom. Put that pain to you. Ow! What was that? Then you start crying. That was a trial. And he brought you through that one, right? See, y'all thought y'all came out breathing. Nah. Yeah, they had to clean you out, get all the stuff out of your mouth. They called the afterbirth, all that other stuff. Let me not even talk about it like I've been in there, right? Said the man that fainted. Anyway. Whoo. Yisrael is so unfazed by Yahshua's power to heal. We put all our trust in their modern medical establishment. And all they stuff killing like anybody. Y'all heard about Coca-Cola? Hear what they did? Coca-Cola and Microsoft partnered up. And they partnered up with put these little nanoparticles in Coca-Cola. So a computer technology company and y'all would please, I wish. Tell you what, hallelujah. That Fortune magazine, March, April, 2024. April, May, 2024. Page 18. There you go. See how y'all work? Page 18. They did this thing called the CHIPS Act. I don't know if y'all familiar with the CHIPS Act or not. America started off with all the microchip technology and all this stuff from the late 60s and 70s. They was the #1 manufacturer of chips in the world, all this stuff. To make money, make it cheaper, get more money, we'll ship it overseas. We'll ship it to Taiwan, South Korea, and China. Let them make them all, and we'll just lay back and collect all the money. So then they became the #1 semiconductors in the world. America lost productivity rights and all this stuff. Instead of 75, 80% of the industry, they ended up with 8%. So now they got the CHIPS Act in 2020 when the pandemic and all this stuff hit and slowed them down. Boom! We got to bring back Simi Valley. We got to get these people here because we're losing money and jobs. So now they want to take the industry back over. And they put all these nanoparticles and all this stuff together. So everybody's partnering up with them because they're pouring billions into the chips just prior to the damn thing collapsing because they need everybody in the planet to be marked, coded, and tagged with all this mRNA technology. Put the stuff in you. Okay, if you eat enough of this or you drink enough of that, put this in you, put this in you. This is devilish, but enough of it will connect and put itself together in such a way that you have the stuff with you. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Yeah, are you hearing how evil they are in the world? And then people get mad when we say they the devil. Well, who the hell would do something like that if it wasn't the devil? So they have control of our global food supply. Now, I don't want no Hebrew sitting up saying nothing stupid like, well, then just don't drink Coca-Cola. Shut your mouth. Because Minute Maid, orange juice, and all that other stuff you drink is owned by Coca-Cola. So shut your face. See, all of the stuff has been taken. The devil is not stupid. He's wickedly wise, and he's determined he's going to have the whole world come under his control, which means Yahweh's people right now got to be wise in Yahshua and determined we are coming under control of Yahshua, and we are not going to lay down on this. But our poor little people, they just right now are just fascinated with being Hebrew, fascinated with being seen by the world. If we humble ourselves, he'll lift us up. If we stand firm and wait patiently, he'll lift us up. He said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. You don't have to, well, I'm going to wait and try him and see. It's a given, Yisrael. It's a given. Y'all all right? Y'all cool? I need that turned on for y'all good. If you need to turn it on, shut it down. You can go ahead and shut it down right now. Y'all all right? Y'all good? It'll stay cool in here enough, so we can shut that down. I ain't crying about that. That's part of the reason why I was up here with the tissue trying to fight off the sneeze. We'll have those days. Listen, we'll have plenty enough time in the summer where that thing will run and you'll be sitting here hot. Fan. Anyway, Yahweh's people have to give him their all without being religious zealots and fanatics. All you gotta do is just calm down and serve him. He's real. And the fact that he's real, then he ain't gonna lie to you and leave you hanging. He's real. But what you got to know in the confidence in Yahshua, ain't going to be no big, great crowds. This place ain't going to be jam-packed to the point where they sitting all up here at the pulpit, laid all down. Minister Taylor teaching or Minister John teaching. They got to step over people in order to get to the pulpit. Nah. If it get like that in here, I'm going to get scared. Tell you straight out the gate. I'll get scared. See, the more people you get together, what's the rule? Y'all know that. Now, that ain't written in the Bible. Just saying. Now, John used to say that when we was children. So, well, one thing about it, the more people you get together, the more devils you got. So, as children, we used to didn't like that saying. Because it was a bunch of us. You know, we all family. What you mean? Then you get more people together, more Hebrews come in, watch somebody pop up with an issue. Somebody mad with somebody else. This and that happen. Stuff happen. When you're all on one accord, and all filled with the Ruach HaKodesh, do you know what there's no room for? The devil. If everybody filled, who can he enter? Everybody on one accord, how can he distract? How can he sow discord? So even when brothers and sisters seek that today and try to sow discord, miles away, trying to sow discord, can I enter something into the record? Y'all got to hear this. I've entered this into the record before. Let me do it again. And watch that. See? That's for the people that need to know. But yet, I'm going to make them, they're going to grab it. They're going to freeze their frame and try to zero in. Oh, man. The poor little assemblies of Yahweh were under attack. I went back and was looking through the files to track this stuff down. And I did. Only thing was when I remembered to pull the book out, I couldn't pull the file. I know where I had filed it away, but I didn't have time. I was coming out the door, but I just grabbed the book just for safety's sake. New York City did something so dirty and low down that anybody in America should be aware of it, because you got to understand how certain stuff takes place. In every generation, there's always somebody that does something so great they become famous for it. Like Sir Isaac Newton, or whatever it was he did, everybody know about Sir Isaac Newton, right? Then there's Shakespeare. Everybody know about Shakespeare, right? Well, you always got somebody in every age that do something stupid and their name gets attached to it. Okay, so there's these dudes that decided, hey, these people hate us. They're going to one day rise up and overthrow us. We need to check out how to go at them and head them off at the pass. So in 2007, the New York Police Department published this report called Radicalization in the West, the Homegrown Threat, which was a 90-page primer on how Muslims became terrorists, drawing on case studies of terrorist plots in Madrid, London, and Amsterdam, and elsewhere. It was the guide to spotting would-be terrorists. Now, I want y'all to understand this, because they shifted this later from Muslims to Hebrews to damn near anybody. You hear me? For the first time, here was a complete document that told the authorities what warning signs to look out for. The authors were two senior intelligence analysts, Mitchell Silber and Aaron Bott. Silber, an Ivy League educated financial analyst and investment banker, became the public face of the report and would go on to lead Cohen's analytical unit. Now notice that name, Cohen, Jewish. Anyway, he popped up. I'll get on his stuff another day. It was suggested that becoming a terrorist was a four-step process. First, pre-radicalization. Second, self-identification. Then indoctrination. And finally, jihadization. You got pre-radicalized. You were feeling stuff, but you wasn't sure. Then you start seeing it. Then somebody woke you up. You start understanding who you are. You're Hebrew. Now you're mad and you want to fight. So you're getting radicalized. Now you go somewhere, somebody's teaching, and they teaching in a way where you're being indoctrinated. Which is like when people say they ain't sure about me or whatever. One thing about it, I ain't no police, I ain't no government spy, I ain't going against Yahweh, and I ain't going against Yahweh people. So I don't give a damn what you think of me. Now the question is, what do I have to think of you based on my past actions with you? I'm going to just leave that out there. You know who you are, and you know I'm talking to you. But anyway, as they become more politically active and embrace fundamentalist interpretations, they are more likely to engage in what the New York Police Department call extremist-like discussions in their cafes, in the gyms, in the halal butcher shops, in the student associations, and in study groups. Perhaps most frightening was that the New York Police Department described the candidates for terrorism. They come from middle-class families and students. They appear to provide the most fertile ground for seeds of radicalization. A range of socioeconomic and psychological factors have been associated with those who have chosen to radicalize, to include the bored or frustrated, successful college students, the unemployed, the second and third generation, new immigrants, petty criminals, and prison parolee. See how they work the thing out to a way where they practically weave everybody in society together. All you got to do is just go to school and say, you know, I'm tired of being in school today. Next thing you know, because you're tired, you're bored. Oh, potential terrorists. You get where I'm going? See, I remember when this assembly here had, at one point, we had up to 4 police officers in here at one time. Check us out now. 4. No being in the building is you got 4 police. Now, see, this is how the intelligence institutions sometimes overlap, interlock, and then bump heads or bump shoulders because they got so much going on they don't know. This organization over here started, hey, send somebody over there to the house of Israel. Get a man on that. But this group over here said, hey, you know what? I heard about this minister, this, that, and other. Send somebody over there, get a man on that. But then the local people said, yeah, you know, there's that guy on the radio, this, that, and other. You know what? When you get a chance, send a man over there on it. Now, they all been sent, and they don't know that they've been sent. But they've been sent to play like they're you. But because they can't, then when they start acting like a Hebrew, they overact, or they overdo it, or they don't do certain things. But there are telltale signs, just as they monitor you and I, looking for telltale signs as to whether you're going to get mad and blow something up, or whether you're going to pray that Yahweh knock something down. They got all this analysis while forgetting that as they're analyzing you, Yahweh give you discernment and you analyze them back. Am I making sense? So, in short, the New York Police Department saw terrorists everywhere. The middle class, the unemployed, the aimless, the ambitious, criminals, college students, longtime American citizens, and now even the new arrivals. ... Anyone. Anybody. To Larry Sanchez, the analyst who became the New York PD, he came to them on the loan from the CIA and stayed. Radicalization in the West was not merely an academic treatise. It was a map for law enforcement, one that NYPD was already following. Zone defense, which was intended to spot would-be terrorists early in the 4-step process. That meant these police had to be everywhere, in the coffee shops, in the halal delis, in the gym, in the bookstores, in the mosques, in student groups. They needed to know who was getting more religious and more politically active. They had to find the young men who felt the Muslims were being discriminated against and those who were angered by the plight of the Palestinians. Wait a minute. Let's get the date. And I'm purposely not giving the name of the book because some people, 2013, copyright date. So I'm purposely not giving it because, see, there are Hebrews running around the country, ex-police, ex-this, ex-that. They get in this way of life, and they are extra radical, extra zealous, extra everything like them, extra spitting up here. But they are so over zealous that they even do divide and conquer strategies. You know, that elder said this, that, and other. I ain't so sure about him. I don't know about this, that, and other. But you go to somebody in order to divide and conquer. You get where I'm going with this? And then see, sometimes some you put on the spot. One brother, I don't give a damn if he listening to this broadcast right now. You know I'm telling the truth on you. Man said he was an elder. And I said, well, brother, if y'all would give you anything, any message you got, you know, let me know. Preach, you take my spot, you go and deliver the word. You don't hinder no messenger of Yahweh from delivering the word. But then when word got back to me, the person said, hey, I left there because I wasn't given no time or no chance to preach. I was never given. When I kept saying, if you have something, but by being a spiritual call out, without me knowing I was calling it out, you wasn't no preacher, no way. Because see, no man of Yahweh that has a message going to sit on it. Because the word within you will literally be like fire shut up in your bones. Then there's the other side, who ain't got the word, who don't know, but are anxious to make a market of their gift like Balaam did, and then they run it, ripping and running and telling. So now as the shepherds in Yahweh, you got to be on point because you're watching so much different stuff transpire and so many different evil spirits popping off. I am suggesting to you, Yisrael, we are in trouble like this because we don't believe Yahweh. We don't believe his word. We're unfazed by the power of the work of Yahshua. You think Yahshua didn't know that the police were coming to get him? Let's not forget that term, police. That was the police of their day that came to get Yahshua. That was a snitch that was working there, healing the sick, praying, collecting offering, buying the things that was needed. That was a snitch that was trying to get paid. Now, don't y'all, I'm looking at, I like when I'm talking to y'all looking at me, so don't think I'm saying you snitch. My brother, I'm just saying. Let me make it clear for those at home too. I talk to Yisrael. I'm not afraid when I talk. I look at you all because it helps me to teach better when I can see your facial expression and you don't understand or you do understand. So not any of you all here, but I am saying we had them here. And boy, at one time, boy, did we have a circus going on here. And in the end of it all, everybody got mad at one person, me. Now, what you have to do in situations like that, too, let me say this, Yisrael. Don't get mad at anybody because they do get mad at you. As the shepherds, as the messengers, the teachers in Yisrael, you will have to bear the brunt of stuff like that when people are mad or leave and disgruntled and they find fault. Sometimes there ain't even no fault. Some people just have to find the fault just for sake of turning in a negative report on you. They did it to Yahshua. Remember, Pilate was like, oh, now, wait a minute. I ain't seen nothing that the man did that you should kill him. What did he do? He had to ask us as our people. And you, of course, we had the same spirit as the snitch. Kill him. We ain't got no king. Caesar's our king. Them sellout types. You understand? Those old radicalized people that's really willing to bring in the system. FBI agents came up with ideas as ways to monitor black neighborhoods, which they saw as ripe for this radicalization. Informants will report to the FBI on black people and their planning and civil disturbances and riots. Sometimes they just hang out. Other times, as the church committee discovered, the informants were given specific assignment to attend these public meetings of these extremists and identify the bookstores where they shop and other distributing extremist literature. Now, beyond its informant network, the NYPD also relied on officers working undercover inside some of these communities and Muslim neighborhoods. Originally, the Special Services Unit recruited them at the police academy while they were still green and had been programmed to look, talk, and act like the cops. Now, where have y'all seen that at? Remember the movie The Departed? Leonardo DiCaprio joined the police academy. He was recruited immediately. Before he could get any police training, he was deputized and given the authority. He's now an official police, but because he don't know the procedure or anything, go out there and infiltrate that gang. In the process of infiltrating that gang to get involved in it, the leader of the gang was a full-fledged government informant / mob man, killer, murderer, and everything, telling on any and everybody anyway. Which is exactly what they do. They play all sides to the middle. which was why when we had them in here, the cops was always copping, always looking at everything. You sit there directly with them, talking to them, their eyes on different things that their eyes shouldn't be, or always watching and paying strict attention and stuff. I pay attention to people like that and people who always got questions that really are none of their business. You understand? Always pay attention to stuff like that. People asking questions about things that don't concern you on the right hand or the left, okay? Or as my father used to tell people like that, well, that don't come before you. Lady asked me that. I said, well, miss, that really doesn't come before you. She says, come before me? What does that mean? So then I just looked at her. That's what it means. It means none of your business. It don't come out in your presence, none of your business. So I said it to, like a woman asked me last week, she says, and you are? See, there's no way to start a conversation with me, and you are. So I fixed her. I did the double entendre on her. I was like, me? As if to say, I'm me. As if to also say, me? You talking to me? So she didn't know which direction I went with it, but I stood my ground on it. And you are me. I'm so and so and so and so and so. Oh, okay, that's cool. No further information required. You get it? So this is the stuff that they're doing and looking for now. Let me explain why I'm bringing this in. We're in the latter days now. They're pushing their global system through. Stuff is changing rapidly every day. But the one thing that ain't changing is the devil's plan to destroy Yahweh's people's chance at salvation. I either need to murder you and kill you all off, or I need to buy you off and have you sell out the people. You know, the scripture speaks of both. Daniel said those that are strong are going to do his works, they're going to do his acts. But then those that are covenant, that wicked toward the covenant, he'll corrupt with flattery. You know, you make a good preacher. You know, you make a good teacher. You know, you really ought to be leading the people. Next thing you know, they pop up with money. They can get a go build them somewhere, build a little church, build a little temple, a little mosque, whatever they got. This is how it's done all along. What are they? They are the new Al Sharptons of the 21st. Y'all know Al Sharpton is a federal informant, right? I don't even understand that scenario. How you get to be informant on the mob, as dumb as you are. But anyway. So these undercover officers were given fake names and were assigned handlers who would be their primary liaisons to the department. Sometimes they were given specific targets. In other words, sometimes they'll put somebody on you. Go to that assembly, join up with L. Johnson, and get real close to him. That's what the brother told me. Man, I want to be close to you. I want to be so close to you like a brother. And he moved his chair up. Just we were sitting in my office having a meet, and he moved his chair into me. So I got a sense of humor, but I was dead serious. Just I put my foot on the chair and moved him back a little bit. Yes, sir. I think. Ooh, that was funny. The question was, do you think Mr. Farrakhan is an informant? Let me stand up and answer that one. Yes. Now, we want my answer from 1965 or 1995? Who said both? He gonna make me work. Okay, both. Hey, okay. Fair enough. In 65, actually February of 64, we have the Muhammad Speaks magazine, in which Farrakhan wrote a very scathing article about Malcolm, and he laid out the fact that Malcolm was about to be murdered. The die is set, the hypocrite should not escape, the die is cast, blah, blah, blah. But you use the die as if we're going to dye some shoes or this, that, and other, but yet you use the word die as a double entendre. You got me, dual meaning there, whatever the case may be. Anyway, a year to the date, practically, that the article was published, Malcolm did die that next February at the hands of assassin's bullets, 32 caliber, 45 caliber automatic, and shotgun blast to the chest, head, body parts, things like that. He was gone. Farrakhan's article did do that. Farrakhan did give a speech in 95 where he mentioned that Malcolm was ours. So what business of you all is that if we did kill him, if we dealt with a hypocrite in the way that our business, that's our business among the nation. So that kind of clears that part up. In 2000, right, they did mention that part. I ain't got all my details, but while your head is around that corner, step back, come back. What was the date of those articles that brother gave to us with the CDs? Was that after the Million Man March? What was that, around 2005? I know it's in here on the desk. I mean, on the bookshelf. Black, yes, 2008. Do me a favor, somebody grab that real quick, if at all. It's probably on top of that magazine, on top of that brown bookcase there. It's either the DVDs or the newspaper article on Farrakhan. Black people are the true children of Israel. So if she can find it real quick, I'll show you all this. You got to see this. In this article was around the time that the Clinton administration had kicked up the crime bill and all this stuff. Joe Biden was the senator then. They passed these extraordinary crime laws to go after black people, lock them down, incarcerate them real heavy, do a whole bunch of different stuff to them. Farrakhan came out and gave this series of speeches on black people being the true children of Yisrael, which raised an interesting question. Awesome, hallelujah, bingo. There you go. See, this is where you get in trouble with the people, when you keep stuff. These are, I'll hold them up in case you zero in on it so that people can see it. Now, this is the question Hebrews have to ask themselves. Why are you saying this if you're going to keep practicing Islam? Because, see, you putting us out there with a target on our back, but yet you say what you're speaking is the truth, then come all the way over to the truth, right? What do we have to do with him? Okay, and that's a good question, which means we ain't got nothing. Because he got to that point now where he don't speak for us as black people. You speak for the Muslim community. That's fine. But telling the world who are the real children of Israel, who are the real children of Israel, part 2. He came with the newspaper articles. If I had time, I could find the articles as well, where they just put it on the front page. Black people in America are the true children of Israel. Okay, are you telling the world that and you can make convert? Or are you signaling to them, we are different from them? If you're going to kill them, go get them, but leave us be. Because remember, when they was doing all of the terrorism strikes and stuff, going after all of the Muslim community, which is what I was just reading about them, they targeted them first while they were practicing or honing their skills for when they got ready to really go after the children of Israel. Now, keep in mind, when you start killing leadership, since all this is coming up, y'all will bless me, I'll bring it out. See, when you start killing leadership, there's a phrase that was created by a group of people. You must understand this phrase that they use and where this phrase comes from. I'm looking at that page. Oh, bingo. Hallelujah. The U.S. looked to Israel too when crafting rules for interrogation at their black sites. In its memos, the Justice Department noted the Israeli Supreme Court had, in 1999, determined that sleep deprivation, painful stress positions, and intense, lengthy interrogations were cruel and inhumane, but did not constitute torture. The Justice Department concluded that international law allowed an aggressive interpretation as to what actually amounts to torture. So the definition is in the hands of the captors that's got you there trying to torture you to tell the truth on something. In fact, America's signature offensive counterterrorism strategy not only replicated a tactic used by Israel, but also a strategy that the United States hated until 9/11. It was Israel that popularized the phrase targeted killing to describe its precise attacks on suspected militants. And that's why we hard on the police or ex-police. Come clean with it. Tell all that you did. Tell what you did when you worked on them forces and the things that went. Don't come with that crap now that you ain't one. You are serving Almighty Yahweh when your ass ain't never confessed your sin. Because there is no way a system that has been anti-black from start to finish could all of a sudden love you and accept you as one of their own. Who you policing? And when did they change the rules? In case you ain't checked it lately, Baltimore and all the cities around America have new legislation going on the book. What type of legislation is it? The new crime laws are anti-black youth. They are anti-black parents. You get where I'm going? Who did they say was their threat over there in Israel? The Palestinian youth. So then they targeted them. While they started the war there, they were here in America having a meeting. Who did one of the defense ministers say was their number one enemy here in America that was going to eventually rise up? Black youth. You're number one enemy, because when you wake up as to who you are, you ain't got to take up no gun or anything. You start striving and serving y'all, the blessings are automatic. So now somebody got to feed you with all the malfeasance that they can to keep you distracted, thus setting you up to keep living a life of crime, thus justifying it when they clamp down on you. Tell me that ain't what they doing nationwide. Now, where our brothers and sisters at that's willing to tell it? Why ain't Angela also Brooks saying that? Why ain't Governor Westmore saying that? Why ain't all them black? Where Hakeem Jeffries and all of them? Again, I left it home, but I read it on the air Thursday. The Jewish community put all that money out there and targeted black Democratic elected officials and told them, stay pro-Israel and don't promote nothing about no justice and stop doing this, that. I'm telling you all, it's a setup. It's a setup. See, now in the laws, when a child commit a crime or something, they can not only grab the child up and prosecute him, but they can double back and get the parent. But you all passed laws 30 years ahead of that, making it illegal for a parent to chastise a child, even down to the point where you couldn't even little corporal put a little light smack on the hand. You get smacked on the hand, it leave a fingerprint where you just got little whips. Okay, that's abusive. Isn't that amazing? So now the parent's scared to beat the child, and the child ain't scared to whoop the parent. So now the parent can go to jail for being scared to whoop the child, because the child can go steal a car, do anything. You got all of it in a perfect setup. As the economy gets worse, as things get tighter, as crime begins to grow and all this other stuff, you justify when you start clamping down on them. Thus, when you walk Yisrael into the great tribulation, you have justifiable cause, because we did it to ourselves. Am I making sense yet? See, they think we don't know nothing. When the brothers that were here and they were all with the police, we would talk about PAL centers and all the different things. The brothers always shut up on me when I talked about them PAL centers with spy networks. Get to know all them children. What are they doing? Are they hungry? Look at their shoes. Profile them. Where do they speak? Do they get profanity? What are they into? Study everything you can to learn that home life and turn this paperwork in. That's what they were doing. We had one here. He was over the PAL center, spying on the children, watching all that stupid stuff. And then you said, I got eye surgery. I get this. You couldn't preach. You couldn't see because you can't see. And then told them I wasn't giving them no space to preach. I'm not grudging, brother. I'm just man enough to say it. And I will say it. We had that here, y'all. Police. Wasn't serving Yahweh worth a nickel. And think you can't discern it. See, that's where Yisrael got to be ready and be up. You supposed to pick this stuff up. You can feel people's spirit. So they spying on you and I to see what our plan is. Y'all will reveal to you what theirs is when they come in the door. I'm telling you all, these are the things that were enhanced. That's why a lot of time when the thing did trickle down and we did get ourselves together, after it was all over, the devil come back in, just make some of us just start flipping out for no seemingly logical reason other than, hey, I'm the devil. Let me grab a vessel. Hey, can I make you do something stupid? Well, too late. You don't even get to say sure. He grab you, make you do something. Flip out this Shabbat. Pick an argument with somebody for no reason. Have a fallout. Hey, whisper in somebody's ear something negative about them and see what their reaction is. The next thing you know, Yahweh said, I hate you when you sow discord among brethren. But the intelligence community, they function and thrive on discord. We were all here. We were getting along. But I kept watching where all the discord come from. You get to see a lot when you stand and preach. You get to discern spirits. You pick up facial, you hear breathing techniques change and different stuff. When you hear that stuff and you get to put it together. People wanting information, got to be here, got to be there, got to be in on this, got to be in on that. Well, if you need me, I'll do security. We ain't on no damn security. Okay, security, y'all ready? Want real quick? Can I, I'll get y'all permission first before I read it. Can I get your permission? Give me a second. I'll find this. You need to hear this. The Black Panther Party was torn apart. Things happened. They put pressure on the gas and electric companies, different things, raise their rates, give them an astronomical bill, water bills, do all of this stuff, and you'll dry up or deplete their funds. But in 1971, the FBI had the Black Panther Party on trial in New York and some other stuff. But check this out now. Public record. In 1971, he was among many lawyers working on Panther 21 case, the trial of Black Panther members accused of conspiring to bomb police stations, businesses, and public buildings. While preparing their defense, the law community attorneys came across something very unusual. The case against the Black Panthers was built largely on the testimony of some of its earliest members from the New York chapter of the Black Panther Party. There was Gene Roberts. Anybody heard of him? You be quiet. You cheat, huh? That was security. And Gene Roberts looked like somebody that I know. Anyway, go look up Gene Roberts and see who Gene Roberts favored. Sat right in here among us. Look just like him. Same exact spirit. I ain't pulling no punches. Elder John's on fire today. Gene Roberts, a former security guard for Malcolm X, who was present on February 21st, 1965, when the Nation of Islam leader was assassinated in Manhattan's Audubon Ballroom. Gene Roberts was the one that leaned down over him and blew in his mouth. He wasn't giving him no mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. He was suffocating him. You hear me? Let's go further. There was Ralph White, head of the Panther unit in the Bronx, who once represented the entire New York chapter at the Black Power Conference in Philadelphia. And there was Carlos Ashwood, who sold Black Panther literature in Harlem. They were all founding fathers of the New York Panthers. And all three, it turned out, were undercover detectives. The New York Police Department had essentially set up the New York chapter of the Black Panther Party and built files on everyone who signed up. Isn't that something? You built the organization, recruited all the people, then went out and started committing crimes to bring them all down. And then the brothers in here start talking, let's get some guns, and we need to do this, and we need to do that. Get gun training, get this, get that. Y'all remember now? Everybody wanted everybody go to the shooting range. A punk that ain't never even been in a fist fight. Wanted everybody in the shooting range. Hated Elder Johnson because Elder Johnson saw it, just didn't say nothing. Mad with Elder Johnson because Elder Johnson's body language was telling it. Plus, Elder John was always standing in the way, blocking certain things from going down. They hated me. Saw straight through it. So, damn, I'm telling y'all, you watch them. Look at them Hebrew, Nathaniel. Known all over the country now. Hebrew, Israelite, former New York Police Department, all of that crap. You phony bastards. You all don't honor Yahweh. You talk surface level biblical talk, but you're void of the Ruach HaKodesh. Otherwise, you never sow discord among brothers. You no good, dirty, damn dogs. Think we don't know? You think a person can't feel your spirit because you hundreds of miles away? You think a person can't discern? If Yahweh's with us, there's nothing we cannot do. Hallelujah. People think you don't know because you don't say nothing. You understand? I told y'all, one brother said something bad about me to another brother. Brother didn't like it, came and told me. But I watched it at the same time. I said, damn, this is interesting. I'm standing between two snakes. One said something to the other and said, don't tell me. The other liked me enough to tell me he said this, that, and other, but he said, don't tell me. So I'm telling you, but don't you tell him that I told you. Keep your eyes open. And I was thinking to myself, oh, they open all right. I watch everything I work around, because anything out there that ain't calling on the name of Yahweh, and it ain't my brother. I might know you, but I catch it. You understand? Brother stopped by, talked to me the other day. Some day, just two Hebrews talking. Everybody watched and knows and took note. Pay attention to everything. That's your family? Say, yeah, it's my family. Why? What's up? No, just checking. See how all it takes is two Hebrews to link in and the world be watching. How should one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 to flight. What you going to do with 3? What you going to do with a house full? Come on, Yisrael, you don't know your power. And we act like we're unfazed by the power of Yahshua. Well, we're going to need that. Anytime they running that kind of stuff on it. Look, let me tell y'all straight out the gate. Let me say it bold enough. I don't trust no man that ain't never repented of his sins and say, well, I should have never doing that over there. I wish I hadn't done this, I hadn't done that. You ever notice all the brothers, ex-military men, they don't train the community for nothing that's coming up. Where all the men that got all them survival skills where they drop you down in the middle of acreage and then find your way back to base and all that, and you out there running, you and your partner, whatever. Where y'all teaching this stuff at? Why you ain't trying to teach the children of Israel? Then y'all so worried about people camping and hanging out with you. Who want to be off in the woods with you, you snake? I'm just telling y'all, we pay strict attention to them. And they think y'all was poor little people. Ain't got no power. You all got more power than you realize. You just ain't flipped the switch yet, which is their biggest fear. Y'all all right? Let's grab these scriptures real quick as I start getting close to my wind down. Matthew 15:21. Watch this. Young people, y'all all right? I'm going to tell you something about sitting in the assembly of Yahweh being a child. Don't let it bother you. You sit in the assembly being a child long enough, all of the stuff that you hear, even when you drift off and go to sleep, it will lock in place in your mind. As you get older, you will need it, and it will come back to you. Trust me, y'all will put it in you like they put a dime in a piggy bank. It's there. Matthew 15:21. Listen to this faith of this Gentile woman now. Then Yahshua went from there and departed into the coast of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came unto him out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, have mercy upon me, O Yahweh, you son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. See, some people ain't going to admit their children got the devil in them. Some husbands ain't going to admit their wives got the devil in them. Some wives ain't going to admit their husband got the devil in them. Some people just don't want to admit that some people just have the devil in them. As my father used to say, woman made mockery of his little speech pattern. Some things sounded like that. He said, they just full of the devil. She said, you said the devil. L. Johnson had this smooth way of dealing with arrogant people. And I learned to apply that. See, when a person is talking to you about something and they really expect an answer from you, this is the funniest thing in life. Because I asked you a question don't mean you got to answer me. Right or wrong, right? You want to take the test? You ready? How much money you got? No, seriously. How much money you got? She ain't cooperating. Get somebody else. I ain't even gonna try. You smiling good. How much money you got for me today? That's my child, everybody. The only girl. My point. When a person asks you a question, they expect you to answer them. But the reality is this is your mouth. It's on your face. You ain't got to answer that person. You really want to have some fun with them? Pull a little Daryl on him. Huh? I said such a thing. Oh. Just keep looking like you confused. That confuses them. So, Yahweh's people got to learn how you ain't always got to talk. This woman said this. My child is grievously vexed with the devil. But he answered her, not a word. Now, I want to hear some Gentiles say, that's just wrong. That's just mean. No, shut up. Y'all like that soft version of the Messiah. Bless you, my child. No, what's going on with him here that he didn't even respond to her? And his disciples came and besought him, saying, can you send her away? Because see, you didn't answer her. Now she over here pestering us. Can you send her away? But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Yisrael. So now you could be stuck with a question saying, well, wait a minute. Why did he heal the centurion servant who was a Gentile too, but didn't heal this woman or didn't even Talk to her. Well, you ever heard of your own discretion? He was going to do it, but at his own time. My mother was good at that. Ma, can I have a quarter? I'm gonna get ice cream out to ice cream be 3 blocks away. We knew the pattern. You could hear the truck 3 blocks away. You had to start putting the bag on my mother now. You had to put the bag on her because she gonna make you bag for the 4 blocks. That's what we call it, put the bag on her. He'd be 3 blocks away. You hear it, you start begging. Ma, can I get ice cream? Please, please. Be quiet. I'm talking. She talking to Miss Margaret, the neighbors, whatever. You go back and a couple seconds later, pull on his skirt. Ma, can I get a quarter? Please, please. Ice cream truck coming. He 2 blocks away. You be quiet. Go sit down. Go over there, sit down. Go back. Ma, can I? He a block away. Ma, can I please? Can I? Please, please, please. Ma, didn't I say be quiet? Sit down. She never said no. Finally, ice cream truck in the block. She keep on talking. Wouldn't say nothing. I ain't giving up. It's like you shouldn't in prayer. He come on, cross the street, get in the next block. Mom, go get my pocketbook. Then you get the 50 cents. That's why I said he was 3 blocks away. You had to put the bag on him because you're going to have to do the 4 block thing. Because when you get to the block past our house, then and only then could you get the money and go get your ice cream. You had to work for it. So, please. Yeah, them days are gone, man. Because you know what's funny, though? If they ask their father for the money, he'd probably be the one say, well, go in there and get my bag. Am I lying? That's just how much the world until go get my bag. Tell me I'm lying. You see the brother up there at the side, he pulling up purse on. What's wrong with y'all? I carry a bag from the supermarket. I ain't trying to be overly masculine, but I do want to look a little tough with the bag, you know. Now I carry my wife's bag when she got books and all that. That's me. I just gotta walk with the bag. You look like, nah, don't try to take that. He gonna bust your head with it. But that stuff, come on, man. Anyway. So he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Yisrael. Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Yahshua, help me. But he answered and said, check him out now. It's not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs. She had a strange lifestyle. He knew about it. So he called her out on that. See, remember, without the commandments, we live in all these other ways in the life. What's the first word the scripture says? For without are, say it, dogs, sorcerers, whoremongers, fornicators, idolaters, and all sorts of things, right? So now he says, well, look here, woman. It's not right to cast the children's bread unto the dogs. She said, truth, Yahweh, yet even the dogs eat the crumbs which fall from their master's table. Ha! This was heart-touching now. Then Yahshua answered, said unto her, all right, woman, okay, oh, woman, great is your faith. Be it unto thee, even as thou wilt. White folk, real quick commercial for y'all. I know y'all watching. Might as well slide this in. This is how y'all got to really come to him. You got to really stop that old, Jesus is Lord. Stop that crap. You have to come to him just like she did. You all have to come. Stop claiming him. Stop whitenizing him or martinizing, whichever you all want to call it. Stop that. Tell the truth of this. This man was a Hebrew. This was a black man. We ain't going with that old, well, he was olive. Well, and you ain't seen no green people walking around color no olive. Cut that crap out. These chairs in this sanctuary olive. This man was black. Feet as if burned in a furnace, like polished brass. Brother Mosiah Fit on social media. He put up a beautiful post the other day. And the head of his hair was like wool, his feet like polished brass, as if burned in the front. He shot a selfie of himself with his head all nappy. Put his own picture up. Then he took his shoe off. Now, he's a little light-skinned brother, but I get his point. He took his shoe off, put his foot out there, shot a picture of his foot. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get it. But you see, they think we're making an issue of race about it. We're not making a racial issue about it. You all made it a racial issue when you changed it. Because had you left it the way it read, all that would read it anywhere in the world would know. And had you not had a distinctive hatred for the darker complected people of the earth, we would not even have to have this conversation. Okay? We don't have this conversation that often on the evening news. When somebody black commit a crime, they got signals and code words that they use to let you know, okay, brother did that. Then there are other signals and non-picture code words that they had when a white man did it. Because see, when a white man did it, they don't put no picture up. The suspect fled, and then he is that novel. And when a black man did it, and the animal stole the cookies, and then he went around and he did this and did it. And I'm like, damn, why y'all getting all overexcited about that? Best thing I seen on the news this week. I don't know if y'all saw it. I think it was Thursday. Gayle King did an interview with a black woman. She wrote a book called We Refuse. Y'all see that? Anybody see that? Good morning. What Gayle King? Good Morning America? CBS Mornings or something? CBS Morning. This black woman was going off. I said, oh, man, if I wasn't taking it today, I'm taking it now. She was on it because we are sick of racism and white supremacy. And yes, we refuse to comply. We this and there are ways to fight it. And we got to fight white supremacy and this, that, and other. And you know the little Asian dude that be on there with her? He was sitting back in his chair, but I watched his facial expression. He was sitting back like this. And then they pan and they show Gail, and she was sitting up. You know, she always crossed her leg. She was sitting there. She was like, and then there was Nate with the braids up on his head. I think that's Nate. There was Nate. Nate was sitting there like this, as if to imply, speak on, my sister. So I was like, that is serious. They letting us say all of this? I'm going to look for that book tomorrow. We Refuse. I forget the name of it, but it's a black woman about how we ain't playing the white supremacy game no more. We refuse. So see, every now and then they letting us get stuff in. We just got to know what to say. And she said, truth. Dogs desire the crumbs that fall from the master's table. So Yahshua said, your faith is great. Be it unto you as thou wilt. And her daughter was made whole from that very hour. See how we've been read these scriptures today so far? Every time it happened inside of that very hour, of that very time frame. See, that's the type of Most High you want to be serving. That's the type of Redeemer that you want. Instead of these people, they send you on these jobs and these old dumb suicide missions. You out spying on your people just trying to obtain salvation. You out trying to stop them. This America, this how black folk always interfering and stuff. I don't give a damn if Donald Trump and Joe Biden slug it out at the next debate. Make no damn difference to me. Black folk all in that interfering. Let them fight it out. Let them duke it out. You see that ignorant woman came on the morning news? I forget her name. Stupid is all outdoors. They are saying that black people are stupid and we don't know how to vote, but now we'll all vote for Trump because he has a criminal record. No, sister. Don't equate criminal record with just black people. You fail to realize what's happening in America. So she go on talking, but he was found guilty on 34 counts of election fraud and interfering up in New York. That ain't even what they found the man guilty on. The election fraud case ain't even come up yet in Atlanta or in New York. So you run your mouth. This was the hush money case. 34 counts. So I'm like, damn, how they put you out here to be an intellectual representative for the black people when the issues you talk about, you don't even know it. And Tim Williams was just looking like, I know you're wrong, but I guess they're not going to let me correct you, so I'll just let you keep talking. Ignorant, stupid. See, we think black street crime is just black people. Hunter Biden ain't no black man. But if a black man had did what Hunter Biden did on crack, lied on a gun application, and got the damn gun, they wouldn't be holding no trial for boo-boo. You know how boo-boo go down? Boo-boo will open the door. It'd be 187 police officers out there, 9,000 police cars, and the penitentiary right across from boo-boo house. They bringing all that with them just to lock him up. Hunter Biden do it. I mean, you can see he's a killer or something. Hunter. That's what you named him. Hunter. Y'all look at Hunter. What was he? He was Hunter when he was hunting for crack, right? He was Hunter when he was hunting for them prostitutes, right? He went hunting for a gun, right? Come on, this is a killer. Don't he look like a mobster? And now you also know what he look like when he get old. If he lived to be old, he gonna be goofy looking just like he did. I'm not having guns. I'm not kidding about no white men going to trial. Don't give a damn. They all should have been on trial long time ago. Should have hung George Washington when you had a chance. You got mad at Kennedy, you did him. Or am I going a little too deep in American history? They got mad at Lincoln, they did him. Prince hadn't even wrote the record yet, and they did him, baby. Anyway, that one's funny. Y'all, when that one come back, boy. Anyway, Matthew 13:53. Now pay attention to what happens now. And it came to pass that when Yahshua finished these parables, he departed from there. And when he was coming to his own country, he taught them in their assemblies, insomuch that they were astonished. And he said, whence hath this man all this wisdom and these mighty works? Is not this the carpenter's son? See, you think carpentry is supposed to be low life and low level. It takes skill to be a carpenter. Read a tape measure, make them cuts in the wood, miter cuts and different things. You ain't get no average idiot to do that. Want to give it a test? Let's go get an idiot real quick and see if they can cut a tube. I know. Go, let's get us a politician. Perfect candidate. You think they can cut wood? So how he get to be paid so much come on, man. See how we got the world all messed up? The hardworking people get paid the least. The people that steal the most get paid a lot. They get paid to steal. How you get elected in the Congress, your job is $100,000 a year. You went in with $83,000 in your bank account. 5 years later, you 16.2 million in. What you do? How much overtime you put in? We don't get it. As so-called American people. Even Ronald Reagan told, he lied so much, Earth, Wind, and Fire had to take a snippet of him lying and put it in their record. Remember in System of Survival? System of Survival is about how people make it, how they cheat and do whatever they dance to. So it's my system of survival. It started off with Ronald Reagan. I'm not going to tell falsehoods to the American people. I'll leave that to others. I'll leave that to others. I'll leave that to others. And then they go on into the music. Like, hey, man, that was a smooth slap in the face with the way Maurice White worked that out. See, we miss stuff like that because we don't pay attention. Pay attention to the world, to spiritual things. Pay attention to stuff that's happening. Your people are crying out. My people crying out. The world crying out sometimes. Even white people's songs sometimes crying out from some of the craziest circumstances, but they can't get out of it either. You hear me? Brother asked me the other day, man, where you at? What you doing? You working? I text him back something. I just happened to be looking at something on social media and Parliament comes up in the news feed. Placebo syndrome. Now, if you don't know the song, that's fine. Don't worry about it. It has an opening line. It says, when all the smiles are out of town and all your ups are now downs, you are in the syndrome. A placebo is a pill that a doctor gives you for a sickness when they know you really ain't got no sickness. You just crazy. If I give you a pill, you take these pills, you'll think you're getting better. We're going to do that for you. So they say, when your ups let you down, your placebo is too weak. You're in the syndrome. Meaning, you're depressed, baby. It's pressure on you. It's crazy. And then that's what the man says in the song. He goes further and says, the endurance of the level of their sickness is based upon the ability that they endure. In other words, all you're going through is based upon your ability to tolerate. How much of it are you willing to take? And I'm like, look at that. George Clinton, them singing this stupid stuff about conditions that the world will create. Here we are as the messengers of Yahweh. We try to teach it. Hey, poor little Yisrael. Nope, that ain't it. It's this. It's that. And we forget about Yahweh. We forget so much. We got 49 different names to say, claiming that it's Yahweh. Now, call me by 49 names and see how many of them I answer to. Well, I go one better for you. Be expecting a check from an employer and let it have all the names on it except the one name that you need to cash the check. See if you ain't got a problem. So now Yisrael is Yahweh, just so much confusion now. So all these people emerging in the 21st century with all this confusion, they right. If you let them tell it, they're right. But all the elders from the 60s, possibly the 40s and the 50s, they're all stuck to one thing. Yahweh bless them. They had cohesion. They understood. They fell asleep in the Messiah, but they had highly organized principle. It kept them intact. You mean to tell me they were wrong, but were kept intact, and you all got all kind of hell and confusion going on and can't get nothing, and you all got the truth? See, we ain't thinking Yisrael, Yahushua, all this. We got so many ways of saying so much stuff. This one don't believe the Old Testament. This one don't believe the New. This one don't like this prophet. This one don't like this prophet. Come on, y'all. All of this stuff is literally a trick of the devil. And the poor little children of Israel, they don't see it because the way Yahshua conducted himself and what he taught us to do, our elders don't do that. Our mothers don't do that. Our sons don't do that. Our daughters don't. How can any generation keep up with it when we teach everything that's against what he told us to do? We don't hold up the stained banner. The blood-stained banner is the only blood that's going to deliver us all. It is the dam of Yahshua. But you can't get us to see it because Jesus saves. And that's what we're rolling with. And they asked, is not this the carpenter's son? Is not Miriam called his mother? And his brethren, James and Jose and Simeon and Yahudas? And his sisters, are they not all with us? Now, he was grown now. He was up in age now, so some babies had been born, okay? Whence then hath this man all these things? And they were offended in him. But Yahshua said unto them, a prophet is not without honor, except in his own country and in his own house. And he did not many mighty works there because of their unbelief. Can you imagine that? He healed the little Gentile woman, healed the centurion, healed Peter's mother-in-law, healed the man suffering with the palsy and all those different things, healed the blind, did all that. Come right down there to us, the one to whom salvation was given. I don't want it. I'll take my chance goofing off and still gonna be saved. That's our mentality today. That's why a lot of times, man, I don't play with the brothers in the faith no more. We don't have no time for that. Brothers in the faith, everybody know everything. Y'all know everything, man. Run some water in grandma's house so that when the system get cut down, you can still function. Hook them lights up, run them wires so that people can be able to see and stay warm as the thing goes. We don't do none of that stuff no more. Brothers can't handle nothing anymore. We would rather listen to the woman man. Let's go to Isaiah real quick. See, one thing we need to understand as a nation, spiritual sickness will translate into physical sickness. We don't understand that just yet, but spiritual sickness will translate into physical sickness. We try not to hear that. Watch what Yahweh said to us. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 2. Look at that. You all right, but you got a whole book named after you. You and you. Y'all got book. Look, he walked right up on that. You see, he popped right up. What? I got a book named after me? Yes, you do. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth, for Yahweh have spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, but they have rebelled against me. The ox knows his owner, the ass his master's crib, but Yisrael doth not know. My people doth not consider. Ain't that sad? Sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. Now, let me stop and talk with some of you corrupters real fast. Because, see, you corrupters, you all will sow discord among brethren. People be on one accord. Here you come. Either in the chat room with your BS, or in somebody's text message with your BS, or in somebody's DM. And you know it's BS, if that's the term y'all want to use. You know that that's what it is, because you know Yahshua wouldn't have did it. You know he wouldn't live that way. You keep stuff going all the time. Nah, I ain't setting up no chat room for all of us to get on there and be sinning, be lying and arguing, going back and forth with each other. No. I'm telling you all, if you ain't in stuff like that, you much better off without it. I'm telling you what. See, some of y'all even on social media and stuff, sometimes you got to block people. Just straight out this, you know what, I don't even feel like hearing your stupid stuff today. You know what, go and disappear. Poof, be gone. In fact, I keep a bottle of that be gone from here on out in life. That's how you got to do people sometimes. Just spray them. So you say, psst, 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 psst. What are you doing? Oh, that's be gone. Don't worry about it. You'll be gone shortly. Put some spiritual be gone right on you. Children that are corrupters, they have forsaken Yahweh. They have provoked the Kodesh one of Yisrael unto anger. They are gone away backward. See how it worked? Now the new thing. First, there was the new way to keep the Sabbath. Then there was a new way to count the new moon. Now there's a new way to keep the feast day. All this stuff. And all it takes is one evil spirit to put it out there and see how people latch onto it. Ain't that how it worked in the world? Schopenhauer. He said, to get peace on earth, we got to kill everybody on the planet, blow the world up. So in Ingolstadt, at one of the universities, they got a whole course on Schopenhauerism that they teach. So now let me see if I got this straight. A man whose theory was, let's get peace in the earth. Let's kill everybody. You actually teach a course? Okay, I got two questions. Question number one, when people complete that course, do you literally give them a degree? And number two, which is deeper than number one, what do they go out in the world and do? Only a devil gonna come up with something that's stupid, right? This is why in the history of the world, pay attention. Most of the main wicked inventions, the person that popped up and did it, they call them by one name. Everybody know who they are, right? All of these different stuff. Watch this. Oppenheimer. What'd he do? See? Nuclear bomb. Y'all knew, right? Manson. What'd he do? He started his own religion, all that stuff, say he's going to kill all of them people. Right? So all throughout history, these leaders popped up and did stuff. It only takes one person to do something, and then that spirit becomes famous for it. Look at Freud. See, Sigmund Freud was against the Most High, and he taught his atheism in such a way that they adopted it in these schools, and now this is where we are. Crime, mass killing, sexism, high levels of rape, all this inhibitions, let all this stuff go crazy. Women, burn your bras. You don't need a man no more. Man, he home, he weak, he crazy anyway. What are you burning your bra for? I'm going to let him hang like yours do. So, well, I have none. Mine don't hang. Well, I'm not wearing one anyway. So now he mad. She going crazy on him, so he go crazy, he kill her. This is where sadism, masochism, and all this stuff come from, because they unleashed it through their college curriculum and all their education. And then we get up here and preach and teach it, and they doubt whether or not we will. I don't give a damn what you doubting. When you do it, if we can discern it, we ain't doubting you. We know. You hear what I'm saying? Come on, Yisrael. Watch this. So he says, why would you be stricken anymore? Will you revolt more and more? The whole head is sick and the whole heart is faint. See how he told? Get a headache and see if it don't shut their whole body down. Right? Let somebody bust your head, hit you upside your head, showing up. See if you done. Right? They can stomp on their foot. You hop around a little bit or get their foot up off the ground or what have you, but it don't stop you from thinking too much. You keep remembering, ooh, this sure do hurt. But now that head, whole damn story, right? When you have a stroke, you don't have no stroke in the toe. There's something up there with the brain. Ain't that what happens? Blood vessels burst and different things. You say, oh man, I'll tell you what, doc, do me a favor. Give me that saw right there. Cut that pinky toe off. I can make it. You ain't cutting that head off. Very few instances in life where people made it without that head. Remember officer, I forget the old man's name. He was a school security guard at Lamel years ago. He came to be a security guard at Lamel Middle School. He worked at the penitentiary. He was a guard. And they had little disputes and battles in there one night. And the guards opened the gate and let two inmates fight it out. Called themselves turning their back. And they regretted it because somehow, some kind of way, the man had took something and made a sword. When that other man came charging down that hall at him, he did some sort of martial arts move that a ninja or something he did with the sword. And he had the head. The body kept running. So that body kept running for a good 15 to 30 seconds, kept running, because he was charging at him, intending to kill him, but the man whipped it out and cut his head off. He said he resigned the next day. Yeah. From the sole of the foot, even unto the head, there is no soundness in it. So we crazy. But wounds and bruises and putrefying sores that have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. That's why we got to get on them old men today. They all around wanting to preach and teach now. What about mollifying Yisrael? What about healing? What about laying hands on them? What about truly helping Yisrael get over some of the things that they're going through? There's going to be some days you're going to have to literally pray for people. Them brothers, they don't want to talk about that. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence. And it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. The daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, a besieged city. And except Yahweh of hosts had left us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Tell me Yahweh ain't do that to us? And we get around here today and act like there's nothing to it. 3 scriptures, let's knock them out. Let's go to Psalm 78:40. Let me show you what Yahweh did to the children of Israel. We get around and think we so smart. Sometimes Yahweh let this stuff come upon us, or he give the command, okay, go forward and devour them. Since they won't hear me, go. Psalm 78, verse 40. Look at what Yahweh did. How oft did they provoke him in the wilderness and grieve him in the desert? Yeah, they turned back and tempted Yahweh and limited the Kodesh one of Israel. People do that now. They limit Yahweh's ability to speak. That's what the man told me. He doesn't speak to people. No, he doesn't speak to you, which is a dangerous point. See, people like that, I mentioned to the men the other day as they were listening to the woman, man. I said, let me tell y'all a little story about life. I refuse to be Captain Blah on the new ship of food. Brothers like, what the hell is that? I said, well, Captain Blah, he was a wicked ruler. One man, he ruled them. He yell and holler and scream all day long. They do everything he said. So we have become so sickened in the mind, people got to yell and holler at us and get us in line, got to whip us in shape. Captain Blah was always in a dispute, always in a fight with shipmates and all these different people, right? The British Army and the men on the ship got so sick of Captain Blah, they threw a mutiny. They overthrew him and locked him up, put him in the gully or whatever you call it. They locked him up. Only one problem. Everything on the ship was stupid. So they end up lost and shipwrecked because the only one who knew how to guide the ship, they wouldn't listen to nothing he was saying. So he had to fight at him, holler at him, beat him up and fight him till they had to get a mutiny to overthrow him. And then nobody made it home. Children of Israel cannot function like the new ship of fools. We got to do better than that because the word commands us to be wise. You hear me? That's why Israel's suffering right now. The old men ain't got nothing to teach the young men. The young men, they so stout-hearted and stiff-necked, they won't turn to Yahweh. Yahweh said, I set them on fire and it burned them. I put them in the prison, everything I did to them, and they laid it not to heart. Watch this here. Let's go further. Yeah, they turned their back and tempted the Holy One and limited the Holy One of Israel. They remembered not his hand, nor the day when he delivered them from the enemy, when he had wrought his signs in Egypt and his wonders in the field of Zon, and had turned the rivers into blood and their floods, that they could not drink them. He sent diverse sorts of flies among them and devoured them, and frogs. He destroyed them. He gave them also their increase unto the caterpillar and their labor unto the locust. He destroyed their vines with hail and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also to the hail and their flocks to hot thunderbolts. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath and indignation, and trouble by sending evil spirits among them. See how Israel suffered? All the mighty work that Yahweh did, we come up out of the land of Egypt, still couldn't see it. That's why we're in America today and still can't see it. All this loyalty to the job, our college education, all of this stupid stuff that they trained us for, it means nothing. What? Who in here got a degree right now that when this is all said and done, your degree will save you? Just present this to Yahshua at the gate. Any of us? How about a credit card? Just go to the gate. Hopefully Peter be there. Maybe he'll let you swipe. You get on in. That how you think it'll work? No, I know. This one gotta work. We might have to save some gold coins. All right, silver, what do you think? How about a cake? Everybody like cake. You figure we bake a cake, show up at the gate? But you see, we don't want them old-fashioned preachers. We looking for all this new stuff. This is how people keep getting lost further and further away from Yahweh, because they will not stand in the way and see and ask for the old path. We want all the new stuff. Somebody can put a brand new lie together and mess and twist the scriptures up. We're looking for that. You know why? Because once we latch onto it, there's this evil spirit that comes with it. And the evil spirit make you think you're smart. Did you hear what I said? See, check this out. This is what lying leaders will do. See, false leaders, they'll seek to cast doubts on people like me and you. They'll try to make us look stupid, Mr. Taylor. They'll try to make us look dumb, Mr. Johnson. But then they'll go and want to teach people. And they will teach the people the very things that they heard us, men like us, say. Isn't that crazy? So you want to discredit us, but you want to teach the same thing we were teaching. Come on, y'all. This is the way the world works now. So you see, he got sick of Yisrael. He sent them evil spirits among them and let them get us in trouble, right? Let's go back to Isaiah real quick. Isaiah chapter 9. Because when Yahweh got tired of us, you ever in a fight, you ever been hit first? Miserable feeling, ain't it? Somebody, especially if they stole you. You wasn't even expecting. You want peace, and they just go on pop you, right? Now you got to fight back. But your fight back is usually reaction to their action, correct? Okay, when do the fight end? Okay, that wasn't the answer I was looking for. Usually the fight ends when you stop swinging. Because, see, you feel victimized. So you say, no, this ain't over till I say it's over, because I ain't touched you first. So you, in your emotion, had enough? Had enough? Yes. Okay. Just brief example. Point here. That's how Yahweh had to do Yisrael. When he went at us, he wouldn't stop because we keep on doing stupid stuff. Keep aggravating. Watch this. Isaiah chapter, where am I at? Isaiah 9, verse 8. Watch this. Yahweh sent the word into Yaakov, and it lighted upon Yisrael. And all the people shall know, even Ephraim and inhabitants of Samaria, that say in the pride and stoutness of heart. That's Israel, all proud, run our mouths. They say, the bricks are falling down, but we'll build it up again. This time we'll cut out hewn stones. The sycamores are falling down. We'll exchange them for cedar trees. Therefore, Yahweh shall set up the adversaries of Rejim against him and join his armies together. The Syrians before, the Philistines behind, and they shall devour Israel with an open mouth. For all this, check it now, for all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. See, we just wouldn't quit. The people turneth not unto him that smiteth them, neither do they seek Yahweh of hosts. When I told a minister, bro, you got to pray about that. Pray that Yahweh speak to your mind and guide you or put you back on. I will not. Okay, good. I got a buddy, friend, well, associate on job, put it that way. He drink. He's a professional drinker. I'm going to cash my check and drink myself into a stupor. I said, okay. I was thinking to myself, well, you ain't got to do much drinking. Yeah, you're already stupid. I was thinking, yeah, well, that's a sip. Forgot my point. It's a true story, though, but I was thinking, man, how much you got to drink? You drink too much, I don't know, you might mess around and get smart. Therefore, Yahweh will cut off from Yisrael head and tail, branch and rush in one day. Listen, the ancient and the honorable, he is the head. Now, when he says the ancient and the honorable, he ain't just talking about the old man and the respectable man. He's talking now about some roots, some lineage. How can our elders be honorable in Yahweh when really sometimes they don't have as much years experience in as some of you as younger people in the assembly? You get what I'm saying? You don't just lead in Yisrael due to your age. If you really did not know, now you just got to be humble. Like the song, take my yoke upon you and learn of me. Everybody doesn't get to become a teacher or a great leader or preacher in Yisrael in order to be great. Because if the last shall be first and the first shall be last, sometimes you've been great in life, in positions and doing things, but you didn't know Yahweh. Now you come to Yahweh so humble, so meek. In the kingdom age, he lifts you up. But now you get around, come to Yahweh, and you already make yourself first. You'll find yourself humbled, and next thing you know, you become last. This is Yisrael's problem today. Many of us think, if I just keep claiming that I'm a Hebrew, I'm automatically a good person. I'm going to make it. We don't even know the word a lot of times. We don't even have enough knowledge of the word to make it. Am I making any sense? See, white folks do this on jobs. Excuse me. White folks do this. They'll get hired on the job for a position. They don't know nothing about the damn position. What they do. For those of you at home, I hope y'all heard it, especially the bass. The voice said, fake it. That's just what they do. Well, listen, this is what we're going to do today. We're going to do such and such a thing, this, that, and other, da-da-da-da-da-da. And you can be that day. Say, no, that ain't right. You got to do such and such a thing. Yeah, that's what I said. And we'll do such and such a thing, this, that, and other, da-da-da-da-da. They take your idea. Yeah, is that good? How's that? Is that what you want to do? And so now you make me feel like my suggestion to you is a request. And they fake it. We can't fake it with Yahweh like that. We got to really take the yoke upon us and learn of him. When you learn of him, that's when you can be at peace or at ease. That's what I learned with all the elders in Yisrael coming up as a little boy. Say, how them little old men be making it be at such peace? Elder Jones put a new roof on his house, took the whole roof off the house, and a storm came up. And this is faith. Elder Jones told that story in assembly as long as I can remember, and the family backed it up. He prayed and asked Yahweh. He didn't say, help me get this roof back on my house before rain, because the dark clouds was coming. It was getting ready to rain. He said he asked Yahweh, steer that rain around my house. Don't let it rain on my house. Yahweh be with them. Elder Jones said it rained completely around that house, and there was no roof on it. Mother Jones testified. Sister Charlene testified. Carolyn testified. Titus testified. Michael testified. These was his wife and children. They all said it didn't rain in that house. You got to have that kind of faith. You got to have that kind of power. If our brothers today just believe we just serve Yahweh, he's invisible, he's in outer space, but he ain't actively involved in nothing, and we all just live in this life. No, it's something deeper than that. This thing is winding up now. Those angels are at that gate. Nobody can go back in that garden until he say so. So then there's more to this than just living this life and just dying and just keep on dying for billions of years forever and ever, and nobody ever get rightened, and the rights be wronged and the wrongs are rightened or whatever, and put back in the kingdom. We're drawing down on the last of it now as far as humanity's so-called rule. Yahweh's getting ready to rule it the way he intended it to be done the first time. We have to have a perfect working relationship with him. Does that make sense? Let's close this one out, and I got one more to get. Therefore, the ancient and honorable, he's the head. And the prophet that teaches lies, He is the tail. For the leaders of this people, look at what he said. The leaders of this people cause them to err. And they that are led of them live happily ever after. So it's the leaders. So as leaders, we have to pray to be led by the Spirit of God. You don't just get up and lead people. How'd you come to the knowledge of the name? I just found it. I just did it. I just did it. That's something a child says to you. And not defiantly, but when they can't tell you why they did it, you say, why'd you do that? Child said, I don't know. I just did. That's what a child says, right? A few years back, he told me, I said, why you do such this thing? He said, I don't know. I just did. Wasn't being disrespectful. He just told you, I don't quite understand my action, but I did it. Nothing to get mad about. I understood. So now with us, we have to be led by Yahweh. Little children have to be led by the Spirit of Yahweh to want to learn his word. You got to put it in them while they're young. You got to, you ain't do them with no old men. Come on. I'm not disrespecting us as old men. Men that want to know Yahweh, then he's going to get us to know him. Women that want to know Yahweh, then he's going to let us get to know him. But I'm talking when you come, you old and stubborn, and then you're going to come like you already know or like you already right, so that now you start measuring up even against the priesthood. Well, who can teach you then? You understand where I'm going? This is how Yisrael functions to this day. Therefore, Yahweh shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall he have mercy on their fatherless and widows. For everyone is an hypocrite and an evildoer, for everyone speaketh folly. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand stretched out still. See how it works? We still suffering because we thought we were so wise. Yahweh's mercy comes to those of us that sincerely turn from transgression. But as against the whole nation, what it say? His hand is stretched out still. You know what it means when somebody stretch you, yeah, do something wrong in that house. Person ain't got to tempt the key. What everybody know what this means. You can make get it. The big hand. Ain't that what they call it? Boy, don't you make me come in and put the big hand on you. And you be like, okay. My mother had big hands, be a little woman. She had these fat little hands. Hit you, them little hands look like them little knock roast hot dogs, little fat fingers. My mother would smack you on Tuesday. Hit your thigh, something. Pow! Sit down. Stop that. That was Tuesday at 4:04 p.m. Friday, you going to the assembly, you kind of be like, you still feel, you know, I ain't gonna do that no more. And I thank Yahweh for it. My mother and father, they weren't abusive, but they didn't play. They were disciplinarians, and you will obey. And so Yahweh give parents as his representatives in the earth what kind of authority? That kind of authority. So we just don't recognize what the word said. We turned away from him, right? Let's close it out. Let's go to John 14:1. We don't know Yahweh like we are too. We get around and run our mile, and then newcomers, we convert, and next thing you know, we challenging the priesthood. Don't nobody want to go through stuff like that. How many people in life now you really just don't ever feel like no arguments or confrontation? How many of y'all in here like that? You ever at that point you just don't even feel like it? Say, man, I ain't, come on, man. I don't even feel like going through this with you. Brother used to do Brother Tim like that. Brother named Danny, call him Disco Danny. Danny he had a way of agitating Brother Tim, and not in the sense of playing or laughing with the word, but he just knew that when Brother Tim came to this way of life, he got serious about it. He really did take it serious. So Tim was down there one day in the neighborhood teaching the brothers about the scripture and saying some things, and Danny came past and heard him teaching. So he knew how to get him roused up, make him really go deep in the book, trying to teach people. So he said, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Moses wasn't no Hebrew. Moses was Jamaican. Tim was like, what? He wasn't no Jamaican. He was. And he ain't bring no children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. He was a captain of the Jamaican bobsled team. Man, Tim threw the Bible at him. Boy, he wanted. And I just sat there and just looked. I'm like, man made you lose your cool. But what it was, he loved the word of Yahweh so much. In his own way, he just didn't want the man to be disrespecting the word of Yahweh like that. But the brother was really just picking with him because he knew that would rouse him up. And then everybody would want to really hear what he would say. Because if you ever get a person that know their subject matter and you contradict them, now they forced to dig in deep and sure enough teach you. And that's what Danny was really doing. So he didn't know. He actually caused him to dig deeper to teach them brothers down there even more. And it worked. He fired him up. Yisrael, this is what the scripture says here. Let not your heart be troubled. You believe in Yahweh, believe also in me. For in my Father's house are many mansions. Stop right there. In my Father's house are many mansions. Not in the devil's house, because in the devil's house there's multiplicity of homelessness in all nations. I was looking at how many nations around the world and the homeless stats that they got. Here he says, in my Father's house, thus denoting the whole kingdom of Yahweh are many mansions. You hear what I'm saying now? If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. Now, stop right there. I'm going to go and I'm going to build this. I'll take as long as I need to build this place for you, to make it. Remember now, he made this earth in how many days? 6 days. On the 7th day, he rested, right? But now he left us over 2,000 years ago. Am I correct? So how many days is in 2,000 years? It matters not. But imagine somebody working on something that long for you. But yet they made all this in 6 days. Imagine what you got coming. Now you understand why the book says, the eye have not seen, the ear have not heard, neither have it entered into the hearts of men the good things that Yahweh has in store for those who wait for him. Look at the one context clue. Many mansions. And if I go prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself. He ain't coming back now like some old cheap banker. Well, we have denied your loan. You can't enter into the kingdom because we found a blotch on your credit report. You said you had a credit rating of 802. Actually, your credit rating is 2. So we're going to deny you. He's not coming like that. So he says, and I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. Look, he ain't getting sick of you. Look, all right, I'm going to set this kingdom up. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be over here. This is mine. This is the gated community. Don't come over here. I'm going to come over there whenever I want. But don't you ever come over here. That's not how he's going to do it. Now, let me tell y'all something real quick. You know, one thing I like about the Catholic Church, there's this one thing. Say, what could that possibly be, Elder? Say it. This is the one thing I like about the Catholic Church, those lying beasts. They tried to structure the Pope's house and the city and all of that stuff. They went in the scriptures and took the blueprint that Ezekiel laid out, and they tried to structure the Vatican like Yahweh's city is going to be structured. Yahshua lived there on them grounds, in that house. That priesthood is there with him. Remember, the priesthood, they don't get no land, no inheritance. They get none of that because Yahweh is their inheritance. They're right there with everything. Imagine being so well off that you don't need nothing. You don't even need to own nothing because you are there with it all. Remember, Yahweh going to set it up when it's all done after Yahshua's reign, that Yahweh comes down, that Yahweh may be all in all. So you ain't got to be stimming like a squirrel. I got all the gold. What are you looking at? None of that. So that's what I like about them, dirty bastards. They tried to build their city like his, and it ain't even going to touch it in microcosm in comparison to what he's going to do. Because there ain't going to be no shepherds there raping no little boys. There'll be no lawsuits against the king of Yahshua now. You got to file bankruptcy and shut down temples now just to pay off people you done raped. Ain't gonna be none of that old freaky deaky stuff going on. You and your personal pronouns and all this other stupid stuff in your alphabet soup and your little decrepit rainbows. See, it's a decrepit rainbow because it can't be Yahweh's rainbow. Let me not say it that way, but anyway, they got a retarded rainbow. That's why they messed it up like that and don't want you to speak against it. But you can get mad at me and say, nigga, I'll kill you. And nobody made that illegal to say. But now I say, well, Yahweh ain't say about no man be no woman. Cops. Yes, he's here Nah, man. See, you got to interview them. You got to do them like Lester Holt on Dateline. You ever notice how Lester do them on Dateline when they interview them little child molesters and them predators? You got to ask them like one come out from behind the refrigerator. You know how he do. Hi, you came here to meet a little boy, did you? You mean to tell me that you were actually going to rape this child? No, don't run. The police are out there. Stay here and finish the interview. Ain't that how you do it? They talk to them, man, get him, boy. Then when it's all over, he say, I'm Lester Holt. That's all for now. Join us next time. Do them like that. Interview them. So you mean to tell me y'all were going to let y'all take over the kingdom where a man can put on a dress with a size 23 shoe and say he a woman and think he fooling somebody? I was someplace the other day. We had one waiting on us. Now my wife was together, so we had one waited on us. And I was confused straight out the gate. I was like, hell, is that a man or is it a woman? I kept looking at the face. Let me finish this point first. I was looking at this. I said, what the hell? So I stepped back. And the damn thing said, well, I just want to get this straight or that straight, do this, that, da, 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 da. Dog forbid anything should go wrong. And we looked at each other like, dog forbid. See, that's code word. The atheists, they hate the Most High. So they won't even say that word God, but he said dog forbid. I'm like, dog. Because see, I pictured a rock wild. As soon as he said it, I'm like, oh. But I stepped back because I couldn't see the throat and all of that stuff. So I looked. I said, okay, I know how to check it now. Look at them feet. When I look down at them feet, that's okay. That's a 10 and a half. Same size I wear. Okay, that's a dude. What I like about my wife said straight out the gate. Oh, I knew that straight out the gate. They fool people. Point here, they don't want you to say nothing against that. But when Boo Boo do a crime or something, y'all talk about Boo Boo for 9 days. Say, come on, man. Boo Boo robbed that bank on May the 1st. Please stop talking about, man, it's September, man. Let it go. So y'all, we got to set this earth straight and all the things. I know they don't want to hear stuff like this, but it got to be preached. So he said, where I go, you know, and the way you know. Thomas said unto him, Yahshua, we know not whither thou goest and how can we know the way? We don't know where you're going. What do you mean? Yahshua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. If you had known me, you should have known my Father also. And from henceforth you know him and have seen him. Philip says unto him, Yahshua, show us the Father, and that'll satisfy. Yahshua said unto him, have I been with you so long? Yet hast thou not known me, Philip? Now he switched up on him now. Look at how he talking to him. Show us the Father, and that'll suffice. So imagine the tone of speech change now. Have I not been with you so long a time, and yet has you not known me? You get it? See, they want that Michael Jackson voice. They want the Billie Jean. They want that voice. No. This was authority. Have you not seen me? He that seen me have seen the Father. And how says you then, show us the Father? In other words, this was subtle rebuke. How you going to say, show us the Father? I'm right here with you. Believest thou not that I'm in the Father and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you. I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me. He doeth the works. Believe me that I am in the Father and the Father in me. Or else, believe me for the very works' sake. Truly, truly, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, he shall do also. And greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. Now stop for a minute. He going to the Father, have all this set up, and get that authority to grant unto you and I that authority. It makes sense? That's what you do. You grant that authority. And whatsoever you shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If you shall ask anything in my name, I'll think about it. Oh, the book said I will do it. Then ain't no arguing with that. He said, if you ask anything, Yisrael, from this moment onward, don't pray in doubt. Oh, Yahweh, I need you to do this for me. Look, stop praying in doubt. Ask for it because it's essentially yours. You just say, no, look. Don't go waiting here now. Start asking for Lamborghinis, Rolexes. I'm not talking that. I'm talking all the in-depth spiritual things that lead to everlasting life, as well as the things that are required in this lifetime. Whatsoever we ask in his name, he said, I will do it. That definitely denotes listening. You hear what I'm saying? That denotes listening. When shepherds are telling us that, and I ain't going to back up off that point. When shepherds are telling you they don't believe he speaks to people, and he told you whatever you ask in my name, why would he say ask in his name? That clearly he don't exist. If you don't believe, you have to pray to him to get no knowledge. I don't think you understand the depth of your own atheism. See, some stuff, sometimes you got to stop and think for a minute. You say, wait a minute now, if I haven't really done this thing the right way, then truly I don't believe in you. All preachers have to pray and ask Yahweh for things. You ask. I'm telling you, when I talked to our brother the other day from Illinois, when he told me about the situation and just was thankful and really hadn't expected nobody to pick up, and how it feels to be up there all alone. When I prayed for that brother and that spirit came upon me, y'all would let me know that he answered that prayer, because I don't know if he ever called me again in life, but I talked to him that one time, and I know that Yahweh made him feel better right then and there. That teaches us the power of our connection with the Most High. I say this in conclusion to all Yisrael. I don't care who you are, what kind of job you had, or where you've been at, or whatever the case may be. You better quit playing with the Most High. We better learn how we live better. We better stop sowing discord among brothers. We better stop trying to doubt the shepherds in Yisrael. No, find a decent shepherd and stay there. Learn all that you can learn in the word of Almighty Yahweh, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. So right now, everybody want to teach, everybody want to preach. Get out of their way and let them teach and let them preach. All we know is just certain things going on in the world at the hands of Yisrael. It ain't going on here. We're not going to sit for that. We're not going to submit for that. We are too close now to the end time, to the closing down of the world. And this thing is going to get super ugly. And if you ain't got the faith built up now, here's my question. How can you stand later? Right? If you ain't made all the proper deposits in an account, how can you spend later if there's nothing there? So how can we pray if we have not built up the relationship to be able to ask? He give you credit. Ain't that what he gave? He gave you credit. He said, whatsoever you ask, I'll do it. You got credit. You got authority. Whatever you ask, I will do it. In conclusion, with those words, I will do it. In conclusion, my question is, what more could he do? He assured you, you got this victory. You need to overcome? Calm down. You got it. Trust Yahweh there. Don't mean get lax. Obey. Keep his commandment. But let's be real. Can I say it again? You got it. He gave it unto you. What more you want? Let us stand. Father Yahweh, we come before you as we thank you for our lives, our health, and strength. We thank you for the greatness of your Ruach HaKodesh. We thank you for the fire and the zeal of your word, wherever it may be that your people are scattered throughout the face of this entire earth. Please be with us, Father Yahweh. Shut down all manner of evil, hurt, harm, and danger. Anything that rebels and rebukes and goes against your word, we ask that you cast it down in the mighty name of Yahshua. Rebuke all those, Father Yahweh, that come against your word, those that divide and seek to conquer your people. Tear down their doghouse and all their thought process. Let nothing that they put their hand to prosper. Go after the enemies of Yisrael on a world stage, on a local stage, wherever it may be, in the schools, in the streets, wherever your people reside, Father Yahweh, and have enemies. We ask that you start to wrap them with power in these last and extremely evil days. Increase their faith. Give them more knowledge and understanding in your word. And as Yahshua said unto us, give us the ability, Father Yahweh, to ask for all the true and right, proper things, so that as he said unto us, it will come to pass, that whatsoever you ask the Father in my name, I will do it. Father, we also finally ask that you Baruch all those in Yahshua's precious name that have sent forth offerings and donations to help the upkeep of the affairs in this house and to send forth your word. Baruch the mouths of your shepherds so that all words go forth are your words and no lies or falsehoods are ever uttered. Be with your wives, your sons and daughters, all that are yours, Father Yahweh, wherever we are. Please have mercy upon us and give us the strength so that this world looks upon us. They will see that clearly we are yours. This blessing we ask in the mighty name of Yahshua we pray. Hallelujah. 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 Yahweh. Happy Shabbat, Yisrael. Love you all.